Settle deeper now wherever you are resting. Let the volume drop, let your eyelids grow heavy, and let your breath move slow and smooth, like snow sliding gently from a branch. Picture a small cabin in the heart of a snowy pine forest, its warm windows casting pools of light onto the white ground outside. The chimney breathes a thin ribbon of smoke into the still night air. Within, all is cozy and calm, and the world feels very far away. You are held here, safe and warm, with nothing left to do but rest. Let the quiet of the snow-covered trees settle into you, soft and slow and deeply soothing. In the soft blue dusk, the cabin's windows glow gently against the darkening forest. You sit cross-legged on a thick rug near the stove, a blanket draped over your shoulders, watching the firelight dance on the beams above. Outside, the pines have faded into quiet shadow, and the snow glows faintly in the deepening blue. The room is warm and close, the air still. The only sounds are the soft murmur of the fire and the distant settling of snow on the roof. You feel the day's weight slipping quietly away. There is nothing left to do, nowhere left to go. The blue hour holds you softly in its hush, and your eyelids grow heavy in the warm, dim light. A soft fog drifts low across the snowfield, and the cabin sits warm and golden within it. From the porch you watch the mist move over the white ground, brushing it, lifting and lowering like a slow grey tide. The pines stand patient at the clearing's edge, half hidden in the haze. The lantern beside the door glows softly, its light dissolving into the fog. The cold air is gentle on your cheeks, and your breath rises to join the mist. Everything is hushed and slow. You feel the calm of the place settle deep into you, quiet as snow falling. After a long, peaceful while, you turn and step inside, where the fire waits and the warmth folds around you, and the foggy night drifts on among the sleeping trees. In the rafters of the old cabin porch, swept clean of snow by the overhang, a small winter wren has found a sheltered corner to spend the night. It is a tiny brown thing, no bigger than the palm of a child, and it has tucked itself into the angle where two beams meet. Its round body is fluffed into a soft ball, its short tail cocked, its eyes closed. The lantern light from inside reaches it faintly, a warm amber glow on the wood. It does not mind your nearness. It is simply too peaceful, too warm in its little nook, to do anything but sleep. You smile softly and let it be, and the porch holds you both. In the still cabin, alone and unhurried, you rest in the old armchair as the night settles over the snowy pines. The fire glows low, and a single lamp casts soft amber across the worn rug. A fond memory drifts up of a quiet boat ride on a still lake years ago, the gentle dip of the oars, the mirror of the water, the deep peace of drifting with no destination, and you hold it gently now. The recollection warms you, asking nothing. Beyond the frosted glass, the forest sleeps beneath its smooth white weight, motionless and serene. The fire breathes low and steady. Your mind grows slow and peaceful, smoothing into quiet, and you feel a tender contentment settle through you, calm and complete as the winter night. The morning is so quiet you can hear the soft settling of snow outside, a faint and gentle shifting now and then among the pines. You sit wrapped in a blanket near the frosted window, a closed book resting in your lap, content simply to listen. The cabin is dim and warm, the stove glowing low. The forest beyond is a study in soft greys and whites, the trees half hidden in the pale dawn mist. And no wind disturbs them. You breathe slowly, matching your calm to the calm outside. There is nowhere you would rather be than here, held in the deep hush of the winter morning, listening to the quiet voice of the snow. The morning sun rises slowly behind the snowy pines, and the cabin fills gradually with soft golden light. You sit at the wooden table, hands wrapped around a warm bowl of porridge, watching the brightness creep across the floor. The forest outside glows white and gold, the snow on the branches catching the early sun. Everything is calm and still. Now and then a clump of snow slips from a bough with a soft, muffled sound. You eat slowly, savoring the warmth and the quiet, in no hurry to begin the day. There is such gentle peace in the morning light, such comfort in the snug warmth of the cabin, that you simply sit and breathe and rest. A wide woven rug lies before the cold summer hearth, and you have stretched out upon it with a thin pillow, the warm night air moving softly through the room. The fireplace is dark and empty now, but the stones still hold a faint warmth from the afternoon sun. The open door lets in the green breath of the forest and the steady song of crickets. A single candle glows low on the mantel. The wooden walls are dim and snug, the rug soft beneath you. Outside, the pines whisper and a stream runs low. You lie on your back, watching the candle's gentle flame, your thoughts slow and few. The warm night settles around you like a soft hand, and your breathing lengthens, and your eyelids drift slowly down towards sleep. You sit on a cushioned bench beneath the cabin window, looking up at the snow as it falls past the glass. From below, the flakes seem to descend from a great soft height, drifting down in slow, wandering lines that never quite repeat. The lamp beside you glows warm and steady, and its light reaches just far enough to gild the nearest flakes before they vanish. The pines are quiet shapes in the dimness, rounded and softened by the snow. The cabin is warm, the bench is soft, and there is nothing you must do. You watch the endless gentle descent until your neck grows tired and your eyes grow heavy, and you sink back against the cushion as the snow keeps softly falling. If you keep very still, you can hear the snow itself arriving, a sound almost too faint to be a sound at all. It is the softest possible whisper against the window pane, the dry brush of countless small flakes touching the glass and sliding away. There is a hush inside the hush, a fine and feathery murmur that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere. You imagine each flake drifting down through the dark, weightless and unhurried, settling without complaint onto the deep white world below. The whisper continues, steady and endless and kind, and you let it fill your ears like a quiet sea, until the line between listening and dreaming grows soft and disappears. Alone in the snowbound cabin, you find that the solitude clears your mind like fresh snow clears the air, leaving everything soft and still. You sit by the low fire, watching its gentle light play across the dark beams overhead. A memory rises of a quiet morning spent fishing long ago, the mist on the water, the patience of it, the easy companionship of someone who needed no words, and you hold it fondly. The recollection warms you, asking nothing in return. Beyond the frosted window, the pines stand heavy with snow, the forest deep in winter rest. The fire breathes low. Your thoughts move slow and calm, unhurried and kind, and you feel a profound peace settle through you, the deep contentment of being alone and entirely at ease. First light finds the cabin nestled deep among the pines, its log walls silvered with a delicate skin of frost. The roof carries a thick blanket of snow, smooth and unbroken, with a single thread of smoke curling upward into the dawn. Inside, the embers in the hearth glow a soft orange, breathing their last gentle heat into the room. You lie still beneath layered quilts, watching the window slowly fill with pale morning light. The forest beyond is grey and dreaming, each tree wrapped in white, each branch motionless. There is a deep, cushioned silence to the snowfall, a quiet that seems to soften the edges of every thought, until your mind feels as still and smooth as the drifts outside. Behind the cabin, a small wooden sauna sits cooling now that its fire has died, and you sit on the bench in its doorway, letting the warm night air mingle with the last soft heat of the cedar room. The summer dark is gentle, the pines tall and still beyond. The scent of warm cedar wraps around you, deep and soothing. Stars hang bright above the clearing, and a stream whispers somewhere in the dark. Your muscles feel loose and heavy, warmed through, utterly relaxed. The cabin glows faintly through the trees. You breathe the cedar-scented air slowly, your eyes half closing, your thoughts unhurried and few. There is a deep and bodily calm in you now, and the warm night seems to ask nothing at all, only that you rest. On the topmost rail of the old snow-dusted fence by the cabin, a single bluebird has paused for the night, its soft round body a small smudge of blue and rust against the pale dark. It has fluffed its feathers full and drawn its head low into its shoulders, and it sits patient and still as the cold settles. The snow on the rail beside it glints faintly under the stars. From the window you watch its quiet shape, so small against the wide white field, and feel a tender ache of calm. The bird asks nothing of the night but a place to rest, and the fence rail gives it gladly. You breathe slow, and the bluebird sleeps, and the dark holds you both. Beside the stream behind the cabin, smooth stones make a place to sit, and you have come there in the warm night to dip your bare feet in the cool running water. The current slides past your ankles, gentle and constant, soothing the warmth of the day from your skin. The summer dark is soft, the pines tall and still, the stars bright overhead. The water murmurs over the stones in a steady, calming voice. The cabin glows warm through the trees behind you. Crickets sing in the grass, and a faint breeze carries the scent of resin and water. You sit very still, feet cool in the stream, watching the starlight glint on the moving surface, and feel your thoughts drift away downstream, slow and easy and calm. Out on the porch, beneath the overhang, you have settled into an old wooden chair to watch the night. The cold is sharp but not unkind, and the snow before you glows softly under the stars. The whole sky is awake with them, a slow scattering of pale light over the dark hills of pine. You pull a blanket up to your chin and let your breath drift out in gentle clouds. There is no wind tonight, no sound but the faint creak of the chair and the deep hush of the snow. You watch the stars patiently, the way you might watch a fire, and they hold their quiet places overhead, asking nothing. Slowly, calmly, the night wraps around you, and your eyelids begin to drift lower. From your seat at the table, you watch the western sky burn low and golden behind the trees, the light slanting in through the window to lie in a long warm stripe across the floorboards. Dust motes turn slowly in the beam. The snow outside glows the same soft gold, then gradually cools as the sun sinks lower and the stripe of light creeps up the far wall and thins to nothing. The cabin dims gently around you. You sit on in the growing dusk, unhurried, hands folded, watching the last light climb the timber and fade, and then the quiet blue of evening fills the room, soft and complete, and you breathe it in like rest. Late in the evening, you carry a candle to the cabin window and watch the snow fall in its small wavering light. The flakes come down lazily, drifting and pausing in the still air as though reluctant to land. The candlelight catches the nearest ones and makes them glow a soft amber before they pass into the blue dark beyond. The pines stand quietly in the distance, their shapes blurred by the falling white. There is no wind to disturb the scene, only this slow and steady drift of snow. You hold the candle close and watch, feeling the warmth of the small flame and the cool of the glass at once. The snow falls on, gentle and unhurried, and your eyelids grow heavy in the soft glow. Mist hangs over the frozen pond near the cabin, pale and still beneath the dark pines. From the porch you watch it, wrapped warmly against the cold, as the fog drifts in slow sheets across the ice. The snow on the banks glows faintly, catching what little light there is. Everything feels suspended, gentle, paused. A soft creak comes from the trees, then nothing. The lantern beside you hums with quiet warmth, its glow dissolving into the haze. You breathe slowly, watching the mist gather and thin over the white expanse, and the stillness settles into you like a held note finally allowed to fade. After a while you go inside, leaving the fog to keep its patient watch over the sleeping pond. The deep snow all around the cabin holds the world in a hush so complete that your own quiet breathing becomes one of the night's gentle sounds, slow and even, rising and falling in the warm dark room. There is the soft pull of air, the faint settling of the quilt, the low murmur of the fire, and beneath it all the great muffled silence of the snowbound forest. You notice your breath without trying to change it, that steady soft tide moving in and out, and you let it lead you. The cabin is warm, the night is still, and the simple quiet sound of your own breathing carries you, slow and unhurried, down into the soft depths of sleep. The cabin smells of pine and old wood, and you have settled by the window with a soft wool throw across your knees. Outside, the snow is falling in the gentlest possible way, the flakes drifting down like slow white feathers in the still night air. The lamp's glow reaches a little way into the dark, and within that glow you can watch the snow turning and settling, each flake taking its time. The forest is hushed and dim, the pines rounded and soft beneath the night's quiet work. You breathe slowly and let your gaze go unfocused, taking in the whole soft scene at once. The snow keeps coming, light and endless, and you feel yourself growing calmer with every drifting flake. Inside the cabin, a small mirror hangs by the door, and the golden evening light, slipping through the window behind you, fills its surface with a warm amber glow. You pause before it as you pass, not to look at yourself but to watch the reflected light, the way it holds the gold of the dying day. Beyond the window in the mirror, the pine forest stands hushed and gilded. The cabin is quiet and warm. You let yourself be still a moment in the soft reflected glow, your thoughts unhurried, your breathing slow. Then you turn back toward the fire and the warmth, carrying the calm of the gold light with you into the gentle evening. Beneath the deep snow, somewhere out beyond the porch, a small stream still moves, and on the quietest nights you can just hear it, a faint and rounded gurgle threading through the cold. It is muffled by ice and snow into something soft and far away, a low liquid murmur that rises and falls without ever hurrying. The water has been moving like this for longer than the cabin has stood, patient and steady, talking quietly to itself in the dark. You lie warm and still, and let that gentle running sound find your ears, the oldest of lullabies, and you feel the whole calm forest breathing slowly around its small singing stream as you drift away. In the earliest light, a soft wind moves through the snowy pines, lifting fine powder from their branches and sending it drifting like silver smoke across the clearing. From the cabin window, you watch it swirl and settle, glittering faintly as the sky brightens behind the trees. The dawn comes in shades of pearl and the palest gold, gentle and slow. Inside, the air is warm, the fire breathing low in the hearth. A wool blanket lies soft across your lap. There is something deeply soothing in the slow dance of the drifting snow, the way it rises and falls without urgency. You feel your own breathing slow to match it, your eyelids growing heavy, your thoughts dissolving softly into the quiet of the morning. The cabin's front step is wide and worn smooth, and you sit upon it as the autumn sun lowers itself behind the pines. The light comes through the trees in long golden spokes, and the cool of evening rises slowly from the ground. You hold a warm mug between your palms and watch a pair of leaves drift down across the clearing, turning slow and bright in the last sun. The forest is hushed. Now and then a pine cone drops with a soft thud somewhere among the trunks. You let the warmth of the mug seep into your hands and the calm of the evening seep into your chest, and you stay until the gold has gone soft and grey. The night is long and the cabin warm, and you sit alone in the soft glow of a single lamp, your mind clear and peaceful. The snow drifts slow beyond the dark glass. A fond memory comes gently of a quiet evening spent stargazing years ago, lying back on cool grass, the vast scatter of stars overhead, the deep and easy silence shared with someone dear, and you hold it lightly, warmed by its kindness. The recollection brings only gladness. Outside, the pines stand silent beneath their weight of white, the forest perfectly still. The fire breathes low and steady. Your thoughts grow slow and gentle, and you feel a deep contentment settle through you, calm as the snowfall over the sleeping woods, your mind drifting softly toward rest. A folded handkerchief lies on the nightstand, ironed once long ago into crisp quarters that have since softened with use. You might smooth it flat and follow the faint blue initial, stitched into one corner, the tiny even cross stitches a patient hand once set. The cotton is thin and cool, worn almost to gauze in the center where it has been folded and unfolded 1,000 times. A trace of lavender still lingers in its weave. The bedside lamp casts a low and buttery light, and at the window snow piles softly against the frame. The little square holds no purpose tonight beyond its own gentle presence, a small soft thing kept close, settling with you into the quiet edge of sleep. You tend the small hearth in the cabin this spring evening, adding a single log and watching the flames take it slowly. The fire's soft crackle fills the warm room, and its amber light dances across the wooden walls. Beyond the window, the last snow glows faintly under the pines, and the dusk deepens calm and grey. The cool air slipping under the door is mild and threaded with the smell of thaw and wood smoke. You settle back into a low chair before the fire, your feet warm on the planks. The forest is hushed and still outside. You watch the flames sway and wane, your thoughts growing soft and slow, and the steady warmth of the hearth eases you gently down towards sleep. You stand at the window with a warm mug cradled in both hands, watching the moon ride high above the snowy pines. Its light spreads across the clearing in a soft luminous sheen, and the trees stand still and silvered at the edge of the glow. Steam rises slowly from your mug and fades into the dim warm air. A frost has feathered the corners of the glass, glowing faintly where the moonlight reaches. The cabin is hushed and snug behind you, the stove murmuring low, the air sweet with pine. Nothing stirs in all that brightness. The night is held in a deep and gentle stillness. You sip slowly and watch, feeling your thoughts quiet and your shoulders ease, content to do nothing at all beneath the bright and patient moon. The early light grows slowly stronger, turning the cabin's frosted window from grey to pale silver gold. You sit close by it in a soft chair, a warm drink in hand, watching the snowy forest emerge from the night's last shadows. The pines take on their morning shapes, white and heavy and still. A faint mist lingers low among the trunks, glowing softly. The cabin is warm and quiet, scented with wood smoke and tea. You breathe slowly, matching your calm to the calm outside, in no hurry to do anything at all. There is such gentle peace in watching the dawn arrive, such comfort in the warmth around you, that you simply rest and watch the quiet, snow-bright morning unfold. You stand quietly at the cabin door, looking out through its small glass pane at the moonlit clearing. The snow glows so brightly it seems lit from beneath, and the pine forest stands hushed and silver at its edge. A single owl-soft breeze stirs the topmost branches, loosing a fine glittering veil of snow that drifts down slowly through the light. You watch it settle, every crystal catching the moon for an instant before it lands. The cold seeps gently through the door, but behind you the cabin holds its warmth like a held breath. There is nothing urgent here, nothing to chase. You simply watch the bright, still night a little longer, feeling calmer with each slow breath, before turning back to the glow of the room. On the worn leather sofa near the window, the afternoon sun lays a warm band of gold across the cushions, and you sink into it with a soft sigh. The light is the color of late wheat, and it gilds the curled edge of a book left open on the arm. Through the glass, the pine forest holds its snow in deep, patient quiet. The cabin smells of leather and wood smoke and a little dust. You pull a knitted throw across your lap and feel the warmth of the sun soak into the blanket. The long light moves slowly over you, unhurried as the afternoon itself, and your breathing slows to match it, deep and easy and calm. A soft fog has filled the morning, and the cabin sits quietly within its pale embrace. From the window you watch the snowy pines fade into grey, their tops lost entirely in the haze. The light is gentle and diffuse, casting no shadows, smoothing the whole clearing into one calm tone. You hold a warm cup in both hands and breathe its steam, which rises to meet the misted glass. Outside, the snow lies undisturbed, soft and white beneath the drifting fog. There is no edge to this hour, no demand, only the slow movement of the mist and the patient stillness of the trees. You feel your breathing ease and your shoulders soften, and the quiet of the foggy morning settles over you like a gentle hand. The afternoon light reaches the cabin's small windowsill, where a candle stands unlit in a clay dish, and it gilds the smooth white wax to a soft warm glow. You sit nearby in the old chair, watching dust drift through the slanted beam beyond it. There is no need to light the candle yet, the sun is gift enough. Through the glass the snowy pines stand quiet and bright, their boughs softly laden. The cabin is hushed and warm, smelling of wax and timber. You rest your hands in your lap and follow the slow movement of the gold across the sill. The long afternoon stretches gentle around you, and you breathe slow and deep, content in the warm and patient light. A soft and steady ticking comes from the window pane as the fine snow, half turned to tiny crystals by the cold, brushes against the glass in a slow, uneven rhythm. It is the gentlest sort of percussion, a faint, dry whisper of countless small flakes touching and sliding and falling away into the dark. You lie warm beneath your blankets and listen to that quiet patterning at the window, soft and irregular and endless, like a lullaby with no tune at all. The snow brushes, pauses, brushes again, and you find your breathing slowing to its uneven, gentle rhythm, and the small, soft sound at the glass blurs slowly into the first soft edges of a dream. Alone in the little cabin, you find the silence of the winter night deeply soothing, a quiet space in which your thoughts can rest. You sit by the low fire, a blanket warm across your knees, watching the embers glow. A memory rises softly of a lakeside cabin from your youth, the slap of water against a wooden dock, the warmth of sun on bare shoulders, and you hold it close, fond and unhurried. The recollection brings only gladness. Beyond the frosted window, the snowy pines stand still and patient, hushed beneath their white blanket. The fire breathes low. There is no demand on you here, no hurry of any kind, only this peaceful, solitary hour, and you feel your mind grow calm and slow. Snow has drifted high against the cabin walls, and the deep cold has stilled the world into a soft, listening silence. You have closed the shutters against the freezing dark and built the fire up to a low, steady glow. The room smells of wood smoke and warm pine, and the heat presses gently against your face as you sit before the hearth. A heavy shawl is draped over your shoulders, soft and warm against your neck. Beyond the walls, the frozen forest sleeps beneath its white blanket, and not a single branch stirs in the bitter air. You watch the flames lap quietly at the logs, feeling the warmth and the deep silence wrap around you together, until your thoughts grow as soft and still as the falling snow. You curl into the cabin's big armchair this spring evening, a soft blanket over your knees, and a warm mug at your side. The lamp casts a gentle golden circle, and beyond it the room sinks into soft dim shadow. Through the window the pines stand dark, and the last snow glows faintly under a deepening sky. The cool evening air slips in mild and clean, carrying the smell of thaw. The hearth ticks softly as its embers cool. You watch the small dance of the flame, your thoughts unspooling slow and loose. There is nothing to do, nowhere to go. The chair holds you deep and soft, and the quiet of the forest seeps in, and your eyes grow heavy and slow. On the cabin's kitchen counter, a loaf of bread from the day before sits wrapped in a soft linen cloth, waiting for the morning. The first grey light reaches it gently through the frosted window, where beyond, the snowy pines stand in patient stillness. You move slowly through the dim room, in no hurry, the floorboards cool beneath your wool socks. The air is warm near the stove and carries the faint, comforting scent of yesterday's baking. The sky outside softens slowly toward gold. There is a quiet domestic peace in these small morning things: the bread, the cloth, the slow light, the warm stove. You feel your thoughts settle calm and easy, content in the simple comfort of the cabin as the snowy dawn unfolds. On a thin branch close beside the cabin window, a tiny golden-crowned kinglet has found its roost for the night, smaller than almost any bird in the forest, yet utterly at peace. It has fluffed its olive feathers around it until it looks like a soft round seed, the gold of its crown dimmed in the dark. To survive the cold it has eaten well, and now it rests, its minute heart beating slow, its eyes shut tight. The snow does not trouble it beneath the sheltering needles. From inside you marvel at so small a creature, meeting the great cold with such quiet calm. You lower your lamp and the kinglet sleeps on, a tiny warm spark of life in the vast still night. Tucked into a hollow oak some way along the path, a small flying squirrel rests with several of its kind, their soft warm bodies bundled into the cavity against the winter chill. By day they slept, now in the dark they are calm and unhurried, their large gentle eyes blinking slowly in the dim. The hollow holds the warmth of their shared bodies, a small pocket of comfort within the cold trunk. Snow settles on the bark outside without reaching them. From the cabin you see nothing but the dark shape of the old tree, yet you sense the quiet life it holds. The forest is full of these soft sleeping things, and knowing it makes the night feel kind and full. Curled deep beneath your blankets, you watch the moonlit window glow steady and bright above you. The snow outside catches the light and softens it, filling the dim cabin with a faint silver hush. You picture the clearing beyond the walls, smooth and untouched, the pines standing patient in their white robes beneath the clear cold sky. The bed is warm, the quilt heavy and kind, and the night holds its perfect stillness around you. Somewhere a branch lets go its load of snow with a soft sigh, then quiet returns, deeper than before. You feel your thoughts grow slow and soft, drifting like the clouds across the moon. Your eyes close gently, the bright window glowing behind them, and you sink without effort into warm, untroubled sleep. On the kitchen shelf sits a row of glass jars, each one filled with a different small thing: dried beans like polished pebbles, fat grains of rice, a handful of star anise dark as old wood. You might tilt one gently and listen to the soft shifting rush inside, feel the cool smoothness of the glass, see the lamplight slide warmly through the amber rice. The lids are mismatched, some metal, some cork, each a little worn at the edges. The snow drifts past the dark window in a slow pale curtain. The jars stand shoulder to shoulder in quiet order, holding their small dry harvests through the winter, asking nothing, offering only their tidy comfortable presence as the night grows long and still. A small wooden birdhouse stands on a post near the cabin, its tiny roof piled high with snow. In the dawn's first light, a single sparrow shelters beneath the eave of the porch, fluffed against the cold, quiet and unhurried. The forest beyond is wrapped in white, the pines heavy and still, the sky softening slowly from gray to gold. You watch the little bird from the window, your breath fogging the cold glass, a blanket warm around your shoulders. There is a gentle companionship in the quiet, the two of you waiting together for the morning to fully wake. The cabin holds you in its warmth, and you feel your thoughts grow calm and soft, settling like the snow into deep, untroubled stillness. Late in the evening, you tend the last of the fire, laying a small log into the soft red embers and watching the flames rise gently. A faint breeze stirs the chimney's drawer, and the fire breathes with it, lining and steadying as the cabin holds its quiet. Outside, the snow has stopped falling, leaving the pines cloaked and motionless beneath a still, dim sky. You sit back on the wooden floor near the warmth, knees drawn up, the heat soft on your face. The night is long and unhurried, and there is nothing left to do but rest. You watch the embers glow and settle, listening to the deep silence of the forest, and the calm of it eases through you like warmth. A frost has gathered thick along the edges of the cabin's window panes, framing the view in feathery white. Through the clear center, the snowy forest emerges slowly from the dark as dawn approaches, the pines turning from black to deep green to soft, frost-dusted gray. A low golden line glows behind the farthest trees. Inside, a wool sweater hangs on a peg by the door, and a pair of boots waits on the mat, both holding the stillness of an hour before anyone needs to move. You sit quietly with a warm cup, watching the day arrive without sound. The light grows by patient degrees, and you find your thoughts growing equally calm, smoothing out like fresh snow under the gentle morning. A worn leather chair sits in the corner of the cabin where the evening sun reaches last, and you sink into it as the gold light finds you there. The leather is soft and warm and holds the shape of long use. Through the window, the pine forest deepens toward dusk, its high branches still touched with amber. The room is quiet, the fire low. You rest your head against the chair's high back and let your eyes drift half-closed, the gold light warm on your face. There is nothing left to do today. The cabin holds you, the chair holds you, the soft light holds you, and you feel sleep beginning to gather, slow and gentle, at the edges of the calm. Somewhere in the rafters, a single drop has found a way through, and it falls now and then into a tin pail with a small, clear note, a quiet punctuation in the larger murmur of rain. You find you do not mind it. If anything, it deepens the peace, this tiny tended rhythm in the dark. The fire is low and orange and warm. Beyond the fogged window, the snow lies soft and gray beneath the steady fall, and the pines stand black and patient, dripping into the white. You are wrapped warm and still on the narrow bed. The roof murmurs, the drop chimes, the fire breathes, and your own breath slows to join them, until sleep comes for you, unhurried and kind. From the loft window of the little cabin, you look down on the snowy clearing and watch the flakes fall in the soft lamplight below. From up here, the snowfall seems almost like a slow rain of stars, each flake glinting for an instant as it passes the glow before disappearing into the dark and white. The pines stand in their quiet rows, their tops gently rounded with new snow. The air is utterly still, and the flakes descend in perfect, unhurried lines. You rest your arms on the cool wooden sill and let your gaze drift over the gathering white. There is nothing to do here but watch and breathe, and so you do, until your eyes begin to close on their own. On the lowest branch of a spruce close to the cabin steps, a downy woodpecker has wedged itself into a small cavity it carved long ago. The opening is barely wider than its body, and the bird fits inside snugly, its black and white feathers hidden from the wind. Within that wooden hollow the night passes gently, the bird tucked away from the snow that drifts past the entrance. You imagine the warmth of the close walls around it, much like the warmth of your own four walls. A single lantern burns low on the sill. Outside, the tree stands quiet and patient, holding its small sleeping guest, and the whole forest seems to breathe slow and easy in the dark. Through the kitchen window of the small cabin, you watch the snow fall, while the last warmth of the kettle lingers in the air. The flakes come down lightly, drifting in the still evening, settling on the outer sill in a smooth and growing line. The lamp's soft glow reaches into the dark and catches the nearest flakes, making them shimmer faintly before they land. The pines beyond are dim and quiet, their branches softened with snow. You lean against the counter and watch, feeling the residual warmth and the deep calm of the snowy night. The flakes keep falling, gentle and unhurried, and you let your shoulders drop and your breathing slow, until the simple sight of the drifting snow has eased every last bit of tension from you. Down among the frozen reeds at the marsh's edge, well beyond the cabin clearing, a single great blue heron stands motionless in the shallows that have not quite iced over. It has drawn its long neck into a soft grey curve against its body and lifted one leg into its feathers for warmth, balanced and still as a carving. It is resting, not fishing, its eyes are half closed against the night. The reeds rustle faintly in the cold air. From a distance you see only its tall pale shape against the dark water, patient and unmoving. There is a deep dignity in its stillness, and watching it, your own breathing grows long and slow, matched to the quiet of the frozen marsh. The lamp is out, and now the only light in the cabin is the faint silver glow that the stars cast through the window onto the floor. You lie still beneath the warm covers, watching the sky through the glass. The night is clear and deep, the stars countless and calm, their light soft against the dark. Outside, the snow lies thick and luminous, the pines holding the edges of the clearing in gentle shadow. You breathe slowly, feeling the warmth of the bed and the quiet of the room. There is nothing to do now but rest. The stars keep their slow watch above the forest, patient and unhurried, and as you watch them, they seem to draw your breathing into their own deep, unhurried rhythm. The cabin's small lamp casts a warm amber glow as you sit at the wooden table, watching the morning arrive through the window. Outside, the snow lies deep and soft, and the pines are dusted white against a sky slowly brightening to silver. A bowl of warm oats steams gently before you, fragrant with cinnamon. You eat slowly, in no hurry, savoring each warm spoonful. The forest is utterly still, holding its early morning hush. Now and then a clump of snow slides softly from a branch with a muffled whisper. You feel calm and well, settled into the gentle rhythm of the morning, grateful for the warmth, the quiet, and the simple comfort of the meal. Beside the cabin, an old water pump stands by a wooden trough, and you have come out in the warm night to splash cool water over your hands and face. The metal handle is smooth and worn, and the water comes up clear and cold, splashing softly into the trough. The summer dark is gentle around you, the pines tall and quiet, the stars scattered thick above. The cool water feels wonderful after the day's warmth, and you let it run over your wrists, breathing slowly. Crickets sing in the long grass, and the cabin glows warm behind you. You wipe your face with the back of your hand and look up at the wheeling stars a moment, calm and unhurried, before turning back to the soft light of home. The cabin holds a deep and restful silence, and you sit alone within it, content and at ease. The lamp glows amber on the windowsill, and beyond it the snowy pines stand dark and patient. A fond memory rises softly of a long-ago picnic by a slow river, the spread blanket, the cool water, the easy laughter of the day, and you hold it gently in the dim room. The recollection brings only sweetness. Outside, the snow falls slow and silent over the sleeping woods. The fire breathes its low orange light. There is nowhere you must be, nothing left undone, only this peaceful hour, and you let your eyes grow heavy, your thoughts settling soft and slow into gentle calm, your mind quiet as the snow. The night beyond the window is dim and soft, the snow glowing faintly under a sky thick with quiet cloud. A faint breeze drifts across the clearing, barely stirring the powder on the sill. Then the air settles into a deep and patient stillness. Inside, you sit wrapped in wool near the warm stove, a cup of something gentle cooling beside you. The pines stand dark and silent, their branches heavy and bowed, the forest hushed in every direction. You feel the warmth seep into you, slow and kind. There is no hurry here, no sound but the soft settling of timber and snow. You breathe slowly, letting the deep stillness draw your thoughts down, gentle and unhurried, towards sleep. Through the open cabin door you watch heat lightning flicker far away on the horizon, soft and silent, with no thunder to follow. The warm summer night is calm and still around you. The distant flashes glow pale gold behind the dark line of the pines, gentle as a slow heartbeat. The air is mild and sweet with resin and grass. You sit on a cushion just inside the doorway, knees drawn up, watching the quiet light come and go. Crickets sing in the dark and a stream murmurs low. There is no storm, only the soft and silent shimmer far away, harmless and beautiful. The cabin is warm and snug around you. You watch the gentle flickers grow fewer and dimmer, your eyes heavy, the peaceful night settling slowly into stillness. In the low warm light, you stand at the window, and watch the long blue shadows of the pines stretch slowly across the bright snow as the afternoon leans westward. Where the sun still touches, the snow glows soft gold, and the tree crowns burn amber against the deepening sky. The cabin is warm and quiet at your back. You wrap your hands around a cooling cup and breathe slowly, watching the shadows lengthen by patient degrees. A faint hush lies over the whole forest, deep and gentle. There is a quiet beauty in watching the day ease toward evening, and you stay at the glass, unhurried, letting the slow change of light settle peacefully into you. In the long quiet middle of the night, the cabin smells of cedar and old wood smoke, and the faint sweetness of pine pitch warming near the stove. You lie wrapped in blankets, breathing it in slowly, the comforting scent of a winter night well sheltered. The lamp glows dim on the table. Outside the window, the forest sleeps beneath its heavy snow, the darkness soft and deep and total. A faint creak passes through the timbers and fades. There is no urgency here, only warmth and quiet and the slow turning of the night. You feel your limbs grow heavy, your thoughts grow soft and dim, and the gentle resin-sweet warmth of the little cabin carries you down into easy, untroubled sleep. Above the stove, a string of dried apple slices hangs from a length of twine, each ring curled and leathery, the color of pale amber. You might lift one between two fingers and feel how light it has become, how its scalloped edge has shrunk and stiffened, how a faint sweetness still clings to it like a memory of orchards. The twine sways the smallest amount in the rooms, slow currents of warmth. Lamplight passes through the thinnest slices, so they glow a soft, translucent gold. Beyond the window, snow settles on the branches without a sound. The little garland asks for nothing, offers only its quiet fragrance and its patient curl, drying gently through the long and peaceful night. In the quiet of the cabin, you sit alone with your memories as the snow settles over the pines, and you find the solitude deeply restful. The lamp burns low, casting soft amber across the worn wooden table. A recollection rises gently, of a grandmother's kitchen, the smell of bread, the slow turning of her hands as she worked, and you hold it close, warmed by its kindness. The memory asks nothing of you, it simply keeps you company in the still hour. Outside, the forest sleeps beneath its smooth white blanket, motionless and serene. The fire breathes low and steady. You let your eyes grow heavy, your thoughts unhurried and soft, and feel a tender peace settle through you, complete and quiet as the snowy night. The cabin floats in a thick grey fog, and from your bed you watch the pale light at the window, soft and shadowless. The snowy pines have disappeared entirely into the mist, leaving only quiet greyness in every direction. The stove holds a gentle warmth, and the blankets lie heavy and kind upon you. Outside, the fog has hushed the whole forest into a dreamless stillness, and no sound reaches the little room. You feel tucked away, held safe within the warm cabin, while the soft grey morning drifts on beyond. There is no reason to rise, no edge to the hour. You let your eyes fall half-closed and your breathing slow, and the gentle quiet of the fog carries you back, unhurried, toward the warm shallows of sleep. Mist lies over the snowy clearing like a soft grey lid, and the cabin glows quietly beneath it. From the window you watch the fog drift among the pines, slow and unbroken, hiding the far trees and revealing the near ones. The snow is smooth and pale, untouched since the last fall. A lantern burns by the door, its light dissolving softly into the haze. Inside, the air is warm and still, scented with cedar. You hold a cooling cup and let your gaze wander over the gray expanse, finding nothing sharp, nothing demanding, only the gentle movement of the mist. The quiet seems to deepen the longer you watch. You feel your shoulders loosen and your mind grow still, lulled by the slow, soft drifting of the fog. The deep cold of midwinter has hushed the forest to silence, every needle of every pine sheathed in glittering frost. Inside the cabin you have lit the lamp and the small stove, and the room glows with a warm, dim amber light. A thick quilt is wrapped around you in the rocking chair, and you sway slowly, the runners creaking softly on the wooden floor. The chill presses at the windows, but cannot pass the warm log walls. You watch the lamp flame burn steady and gold, listening to the vast quiet of the frozen night. Each slow rock of the chair settles you a little deeper into calm. Your breathing turns soft and even, your eyes grow heavy, and the long, peaceful evening carries you gently down towards sleep. The night is deep and the cabin is still, and outside the snow is falling like powdered sugar sifted through a fine cloth. You stand at the window in your warm socks and watch it come down over the clearing. There is no sound at all, only the soft press of snow upon snow and the occasional whisper of a flake brushing the glass. The pines hold themselves quietly, their branches lined now with thin ridges of white. A faraway part of the forest is lost in a soft grey haze where the falling snow thickens the air. You let your eyes wander over the slow descent, feeling the calm of it seep into you, until the whole quiet scene becomes a kind of lullaby. You sit very still in the dim cabin and listen to the deep silence of the snowy night, watching the flakes fall past the window. They come down softly, slow and scattered, lit faintly by the glow of the lamp turned low. Each flake seems to drift more than fall, wandering down through the still air at its own gentle pace. The pines beyond are deep shadows, their branches softened by the day's white gathering. The cabin holds the warmth of the evening's fire. You follow the drifting flakes with your eyes, your thoughts slowing to match their unhurried descent. There is nothing to do but watch and breathe, and so you do, until the gentle falling snow has eased you into a calm so deep it feels like floating. The cabin is small and simple, built of dark timber gone soft and grey with age. A single room holds nearly everything, a bed in one corner, a worn armchair, a table by the window. The snow has been falling all evening, and the world outside has gone quiet beneath it, that deep and total quiet that only heavy snow can bring. Inside, all is warm and close and still. The cabin grows slowly brighter as the morning sun climbs above the snowy pines, its light filtering soft and golden through the trees. You sit at the window with a sketchbook open on your lap, idly drawing the shapes of the laden branches. Your pencil moves slowly, unhurried, tracing the gentle curves of snow. The forest outside is calm and still, glowing in the warm early light. The stove crackles softly behind you, keeping the cabin cozy. You pause often to simply look, to take in the quiet beauty of the scene. There is no goal, no need to finish anything. You draw and rest and watch the light shift, deeply content in the peaceful, snow-hushed morning. The night is so bright that you turn off the lamp entirely and let the moon light the cabin. Silver pours across the floor and up the far wall, soft and clear, and the snowy forest beyond the window glows like something out of a quiet dream. You sit on the edge of the bed and watch the pines, each one outlined cleanly against the pale sky, their branches bowed gently under snow. The room is warm, the stove murmuring low, the air faintly resinous and sweet. You feel the day fall away from you, layer by layer, in the presence of so much stillness. The moon holds steady above the trees. You lie back slowly, eyes on the glowing window, and let the calm, bright night fold around you. The cabin's single room is dim and warm, lit only by the dying glow within the stove. A faint breeze stirs the dried herbs hanging near the rafters, and they sway just barely, releasing a thread of green, peppery scent into the air before all goes still. Outside, the snow lies deep and untroubled across the clearing, and the pines stand black and silent beneath the heavy sky. You pull a soft woolen blanket higher over your lap and feel the warmth gather close. The night is wide and calm and asks for nothing. You let your gaze rest on the low embers, watching them pulse and fade, and the deep stillness of the forest seems to flow gently into the quiet room around you. You have drawn the curtains back just a little to let yourself watch the snowfall from your warm bed in the cabin. The flakes drift past the window in the moonless dark, faint and ghostly, catching only the smallest trace of light from the embers across the room. They fall without any hurry at all, turning lazily as they come, and you follow their slow descent until your eyes blur. The pines beyond are soft black shapes, their outlines gentled by the snow that has gathered all evening. Inside, the air is warm and still, and smells faintly of cedar. You feel the weight of the day lift from you as you watch, and the gentle falling snow becomes the last thing you see before sleep. The warm air of the cabin moves slowly upward and the cooler air sinks, and in this gentle circling you can hear the faintest stirrings, a soft tick of the stove, a whisper of warmth rising past the rafters, the quiet breath of a room finding its balance. None of these sounds is loud enough to name on its own. Together they make the low, contented hum of a house at rest. You lie within this slow circulation of warmth and listen to the small, soft murmurs of the air finding its way, and the steady comfort of it surrounds you, even and unhurried, until your own slow breathing joins the quiet music and you drift gently down. Out in the snow-muffled night, a branch laden with white finally bends low enough to brush the cabin wall with the softest of scrapes, a slow, gentle dragging sound, and then lifts away again as the wind shifts. There is nothing alarming in it, only the quiet conversation of tree and timber, the forest leaning in for a moment to touch the little house before drawing back. You lie warm and still and listen to that soft, slow scrape come and go, the snowy branch swaying against the wall in the dark. It speaks once more, gentle and low, and then is silent, and the deep hush of the snowy woods settles back over everything. In the dim cabin, alone and at ease, you sit near the dying fire as the night deepens over the snowy forest. The embers glow soft and orange, and the wooden walls hold the silence close. A fond memory drifts up of a long-ago morning spent gardening with someone dear, the cool soil, the quiet work side by side, the easy contentment of shared simple labor, and you hold it gently now. The recollection warms you, asking nothing. Beyond the frosted window, the pines stand heavy with snow, silent and patient. The fire breathes low. Your mind grows slow and peaceful, and you feel a deep contentment settle through you, calm as the snowfall over the sleeping woods. The hardest cold of the year has come tonight, and the cabin answers it with warmth gathered close around the iron stove. Frost rims the windows in pale lace, and beyond them the pines stand frozen and serene beneath a sky scattered with cold, bright stars. You have settled deep into a worn chair with a blanket over your knees, listening to the small sounds of the fire and the soft tick of cooling metal. The deep chill outside only makes the glow inside feel kinder. You cradle a warm cup in both hands and feel the heat travel slowly up your arms. Nothing hurries here. The night is vast and quiet, and you let yourself sink gently into the comfort of being warm and safe and still. Out past the woodpile, a single old apple tree stands at the forest's edge, and in the golden evening you walk to it through the cooling grass. A few late apples still hang among the thinning leaves, glowing red and amber where the low sun finds them. The pine forest rises dark behind the tree. You reach up and pick one, cool and firm in your palm, and turn it slowly in the light. The air smells of fallen fruit and dry leaves. You do not hurry. You stand beneath the spreading branches as the gold light fades, breathing the sweet cool air, and feel the deep simple peace of the orchard's quiet evening settle over you. You step softly onto the cabin's small porch, a warm blanket wrapped around your shoulders, and watch your breath cloud in the cold dawn air. The snowy forest spreads before you, silent and white, the pines bowed gently under their burdens. The sky is a soft gradient of gray and pale gold above the treetops. Snow muffles every sound, and the world feels wrapped in cotton. You stand quietly, sipping warm tea, feeling the cold air on your cheeks and the warmth of the drink within. A single snowflake drifts down and lands on your sleeve. You watch it slowly melt, calm and unhurried, savoring the deep peace of the early winter morning before stepping back inside. A frost has crept along the inside of the window pane overnight, drawing delicate white feathers across the lower corners of the glass. As the first light of dawn touches them, they soften and glisten, slowly beginning to melt into clear beads. Beyond, the pine forest stands deep in snow, the trees wrapped in white, the sky lightening from gray to the palest gold. You lie beneath warm blankets, watching the frost give way to the morning, the window slowly clearing to reveal the quiet woods. The cabin is dim and still, the fire a low glow of coals. There is a gentle magic in watching the frost dissolve, the cold yielding softly to the light. You feel your own thoughts soften too, drifting easy and slow into the calm of the day. The stove has filled the cabin with a low, steady warmth, and you have wandered to the window to say good night to the sky. Outside, the snow lies untouched and luminous, and above it the stars hang in their thousands, calm and unblinking. You press your palm flat against the cold glass and feel the night on the other side, vast and gentle. The pines stand in silent rows, their branches heavy with white. You let your eyes wander over the scattered light, finding no pattern, needing none. Each star seems to rest exactly where it belongs, patient and serene. The longer you watch, the slower your breathing becomes, until the warmth behind you and the quiet sky before you blend into one soft, drowsy stillness. In a sheltered crevice among the snow-capped rocks beyond the cabin, a small flock of rock pigeons has settled close together for the night, their soft grey bodies a single warm mass against the stone. The rocks hold a little of the day's faint warmth, and the birds press into the crevice out of the wind, their iridescent necks dim in the dark. They coo no more tonight, they simply rest, breathing slow and even. The snow caps the boulders above without reaching them. From the cabin, the rocks are a pale jumble in the moonlight, hiding their quiet sleepers. There is comfort in the way the stones and the birds keep one another, and watching the still rocks, your own breath grows long and your thoughts unwind. The trunks of the nearest pines glow a deep russet brown in the last sunset light, their bark warm against the cool blue snow, every furrow and ridge picked out for a few quiet minutes. You watch them from the porch, struck by how alive the rough old bark looks in the low gold light. Then the sun drops lower and the warmth slides off the trunks, and they go to shadow, dark and still, standing guard at the edge of the clearing. The snow holds its faint blue glow. Your breath drifts up and fades. You stand in the deepening quiet a while longer, then step softly inside, leaving the dark, patient pines to keep their watch over the gentle night. As dusk turns the snow to soft pewter, the cabin glows warm against the cooling blue of evening. You sit near the window with a thick blanket about your shoulders, watching the forest settle into stillness. The pines stand dark and patient, their branches heavy with snow that catches the last faint light. Inside, the only sounds are the low murmur of the fire and the soft tick of a clock you have stopped watching. The room smells of wood smoke and warm wool. You feel the day's weight slipping quietly from you, breath by slow breath. The blue hour holds the world gently in its hush, and you let yourself be held along with it, calm and unhurried in the dim, kind light. The fire has burned to a soft glow, and you sit before the cabin window in the warm, dim light, watching the snow come down. The flakes drift slowly through the dark, lit faintly by the embers and the pale gleam of the snow already fallen. They wander down without hurry, turning and tilting, each tracing its own quiet paths. The pines beyond are deep shadows, softened by the gathering white. The cabin is still and warm and smells of wood smoke and pine. You let your eyes follow the drifting flakes until they blur into a single soft motion. The snow keeps falling, gentle and endless, and you feel the deep calm of the night gather around you, soothing as a slow and even breath. The mist drifts down from the high pines and pools in the cabin clearing, soft and slow as a sigh. You stand at the window in the dim light, watching it move across the snow. The trees are dark and gentle within it, their branches heavy with white. A lantern glows beside the door, and its light spreads into the fog and fades. The cold air seeps faintly through the glass, but the room behind you is warm. Everything outside is hushed, blurred, gentled. You watch the fog gather in the low places and thin along the rises, slow as breath, patient as snow. There is nothing here to trouble you. You let the quiet drifting carry your thoughts away, and you feel yourself grow calm and pleasantly drowsy. Through the small window above the kitchen basin, the afternoon sun lights the row of hanging copper pots, and they glow warm and burnished in the low gold. You stand at the sink, hands resting in cooling water, watching the soft shine. The snowy pines beyond the glass stand quiet and bright, their boughs gently laden. The cabin smells of bread and wood smoke. You lift your hands from the water and dry them slowly on a soft cloth, watching the light move across the copper. There is a quiet contentment in this ordinary corner of the home. The long afternoon light pools warm around the sink, and you linger a moment more, breathing slow, in no hurry to step away. Inside the cabin, the fire has burned to a low, steady warmth, and through the misted windows, the forest looks like a painting half erased. The pines are only suggestions now, soft grey shapes standing patiently in the snow. You sit in the deep chair with your feet tucked beneath you, listening to the small settling sounds of the wood. The fog presses gently at the glass, never asking to come in, only keeping the cabin company. A kettle cools on the stove, its last thread of steam joining the haze of the room. Outside, the snow and mist have blurred together into one soft grayness. Your eyelids feel pleasantly heavy, and the quiet seems to deepen with every slow, unhurried minute. The cold has drawn the air perfectly clear, and the stars over the cabin shine with a sharp, calm brightness tonight. From your chair by the window you watch them over the dark pines, countless and serene in the deep night. The snow in the clearing glows faintly, smooth and untouched, and the forest stands silent beyond. You wrap your hands around a warm cup and let your gaze settle among the stars, in no hurry to do anything but look. The cabin holds its quiet warmth, the fire ticking low. Each star rests in its place with infinite patience, and the longer you watch, the more the night slows around you. Bit by bit, the calm of the clear, cold sky draws your eyelids lower towards sleep. Inside the cabin, the lamp is lit early against the gathering dusk, casting a circle of buttery light over the table and the open book you are not really reading. Outside, the snow holds the last cool glow of the vanished sun, a pale luminous blue between the dark trunks of the pines. The contrast is gentle, indoor gold and outdoor silver, and you sit at the meeting of the two with a cup of tea cooling slowly at your elbow. The fire murmurs. Now and then the wind sighs once in the high branches and falls quiet again. You let your eyes drift from the warm page to the cool window and back, and the evening settles peacefully around you. And at last the rain becomes a sound so soft and so steady that it is indistinguishable from your own slow breathing, the two woven together into a single quiet rhythm that fills the warm dark cabin to its beams. The fire is a faint red memory in the stove. The lamp is out. The window holds only the gentle grey of the rainy night, the soft snow, the patient dripping pines. You are warm to your fingertips beneath the heavy quilt, your body still, your thoughts gone entirely soft. There is nothing left to do, nothing left to hold, nothing left but the rain and the warmth and the slow tide of your own breaths. You let it all carry you, soft and even and endless, down into the deep and quiet dark of sleep. When the wind dies completely, as it sometimes does in the deepest part of the night, the forest falls into a silence so soft and full that it seems to have a sound of its own, a low, warm hush like the inside of a held breath. The snow does not whisper, the pines do not sigh, the fire has settled to a glow, and in that great gentle stillness you can almost hear the quiet itself. You lie warm at the center of all that peace, and let it settle over you, this rare and perfect calm that fills the cabin and the woods alike. There is nothing to listen for and nothing to do but rest, and so you rest. A wooden bench sits at the forest's edge, and you have settled onto it to watch the autumn light fade among the trees. The pines rise tall and dark, but here and there a maple has caught fire with the season, its leaves glowing orange and gold in the low sun. The air is crisp and clean, scented with resin and the faint sweetness of decay. A few leaves let go and tumble down without sound. You wrap your hands inside your sleeves and simply look, letting your gaze soften and drift. The shadows pool deeper between the trunks, and the warmth slips slowly from the air, and your breathing settles into the quiet of the coming evening. Along one wall of the cabin runs a low wooden bench beneath the windows, and you have stretched out upon it, a cushion at your head, the warm night flowing over you. The windows above are open wide, and the summer air moves gently through, carrying the breath of the pines. Moonlight falls in soft pale stripes across the floorboards. The forest outside is hushed and dark, only the steady pulse of crickets and the murmur of distant water. The bench is firm and warm beneath you, the cushion soft. You watch the moonlight shift slowly along the floor as a high cloud passes. Your breathing grows long and even, your thoughts unspooling into nothing in particular. The warm and quiet room holds you, and sleep draws near. Beyond the cabin, an old wooden fence runs crooked along the edge of the clearing, each post crowned with a soft hat of snow. In the first light of dawn, long blue shadows stretch from the pines across the unbroken drifts. The sky behind the trees blushes faintly, a watercolor wash of rose and amber bleeding upward into gray. You watch from within, warm and unhurried, a quilt pulled to your chin. The frost on the window softens as the light grows, the crystals slowly losing their sharp edges. A deep woolen silence fills the forest. You feel your shoulders loosen, your breathing slow, the gentle weight of the blankets anchoring you in comfort as the morning quietly takes its time. Evening fog has crept into the forest, and from the cabin's warm interior, you watch it swallow the pines one by one. The snow glows faintly through the haze, and the trees become soft gray shapes, then nothing at all. The fire murmurs low in the grate, and a blanket lies warm across your lap. The mist seems to draw the world inward, closer, gentler, until the cabin feels like the last warm place in a soft gray sea. You sip something warm and let the quiet fill you. There is no rush to this evening, no sharp corners to it. The fog moves slowly past the glass, and you move slowly too, your breath easing, your thoughts unwinding, the long calm night settling gently all around. High in the loft, beneath the open skylight, you lie on a nest of pillows, watching a single slow cloud cross the face of the moon. The summer night is warm, and you need no covers, only the soft cushions and the gentle air. The The pine forest breathes far below, a long, slow whisper through the dark. The wooden rafters above you smell of cedar and warm dust. The moon glows steadily, half veiled by the drifting cloud, and the stars wait patiently around it. There is a deep stillness here, high and quiet and safe. You feel your body grow heavy against the pillows, your breathing slow and even. The cloud slides past, the moon brightens, and your eyes drift closed in the warm and peaceful dark. You lie listening to the deep hush of the forest, the window above you bright with moonlight. The snow outside is so luminous that the room glows faintly silver, even with the lamp out. You picture the clearing beyond the walls, smooth and untouched, the pines standing patient in their white coats beneath the wide, bright sky. The bed is warm and soft, the quilt heavy and kind, and the cabin holds its quiet around you like cupped hands. Somewhere a branch releases its snow with a gentle sigh, and then the silence returns, deeper than before. You let your eyes drift closed, the bright window glowing softly behind your lids, and feel yourself sinking slowly, peacefully, into the warm dark of rest. You sit beside the cabin's window this spring evening, slowly knitting by the light of a single lamp. The needles click softly, an easy, steady rhythm in the quiet room. Outside, the snow has thinned to pale ribbons under the pines, and the dusk lays a calm gray light over the clearing. A meltwater stream murmurs somewhere beyond the trees. The cool, mild air drifts gently through a cracked sill, carrying the smell of waking earth. The wool is soft and warm between your fingers. You add row to row without hurry, watching the small fabric grow. The hearth glows low behind you. The repetition soothes you, slows you, and your hands move slower and slower as the peaceful night settles in. A hammock hangs between two pines at the edge of the clearing, and in the golden evening you climb into it and let it cradle you. The trees sway you with the slightest breeze, a slow and soothing motion, while the last sun pours warm and amber through the high branches. Needles and a single leaf or two drift down now and then, turning lazily in the light. The forest smells of resin and cool earth. You fold your hands upon your chest and watch the gold deepen overhead, the sky going to soft copper above the dark green pines. The gentle rocking carries you, and your eyes grow heavy, and the day rocks slowly toward its rest. The cabin holds a deep and restful silence, and you sit alone within it, content and unhurried. The lamp glows amber on the windowsill, and beyond it the snowy pines stand dark and patient. A fond memory rises softly of a summer hammock strung between two trees, the slow sway of it, the dappled light, the lazy drift toward an afternoon nap, and you hold it gently in the dim room. The recollection brings only sweetness. Outside, the snow falls slow and silent over the sleeping woods. The fire breathes its low orange light. There is nowhere you must be, nothing left undone, only this peaceful solitary hour, and you let your eyes grow heavy, your thoughts settling soft and slow into a deep and gentle calm. In the dim blue evening, the cabin feels wrapped in a deep, gentle hush. You sit near the window with a candle flickering softly beside you, watching the snowy pines fade into the dusk. The snow in the clearing glows faint and lavender beneath the indigo sky, smooth and undisturbed. The wood stove hums low and warm at your back, and the air smells of wood smoke and pine. You cradle a warm cup in both hands and feel the heat travel slowly up your arms. There is no edge to this evening, no sharpness anywhere. The light keeps softening, kind and unhurried. You feel yourself growing calm and heavy, sinking gently into the warm, dim quiet, ready to let the day go. Blue hour drapes itself across the snowy forest, and inside the little cabin the day winds down to nothing. You move a kettle off the heat, hang a damp towel by the stove, and lower yourself into a deep armchair with a long, slow sigh. The window shows a world gone dim and lavender, the pines fading softly into the gathering dusk. A single candle burns on the sill, its flame unwavering in the still air. Warmth seeps gently from the wood stove and pools around your feet. There is nothing left to do today, and the knowing of that loosens something in your chest. The evening deepens, quiet and kind, and you let your eyes close in the warm, dim glow. Just inside the cabin door, the afternoon sun lights the neat stack of split firewood and the small basket of kindling beside it, gilding the pale cut ends to warm amber. You crouch nearby and lay a fresh log atop the pile, in no hurry, feeling its rough, cool bark beneath your palms. The low light slants across the floor and warms the worn boards. Through the door's frosted pane, the snowy pines stand quiet and bright. The cabin smells of pine sap and timber and a little smoke. You rest a hand on the stacked wood and feel the sun's gentle warmth held within it. The long gold light pools around you, and you stay a moment, calm and unhurried, in the quiet of the late day. The moon is so bright tonight, it casts your shadow across the cabin floor as you stand at the window. Outside, the snowy clearing glows pale silver, and the pines beyond rise dark and still, their boughs heavy and gleaming. You watch a thin mist of snow lift from a branch in a faint breeze and drift slowly down, each crystal catching the light. The cold radiates gently from the glass, but the cabin holds its warmth behind you, the stove glowing low and steady. There is nothing to do here, nothing pressing, only this calm, bright night and the deep hush of the forest. You breathe slowly, feeling your thoughts settle and quiet, and you linger by the window, unhurried, letting the peace of it sink in. The moon has not yet risen, and so the stars have the whole sky to themselves tonight. From the porch of the cabin you watch them shine over the forest, thick and bright and utterly calm. The snow stretches pale toward the dark pines, smooth and luminous in the starlight. You stand wrapped in a heavy coat, your breath rising softly, your eyes wandering among the countless points of light. There is no wind, no sound, only the deep hush of the winter night. The stars seem to rest in the dark with infinite patience, and the longer you watch them, the quieter you become. The cold is gentle, the warmth of the cabin near, and the vast still sky above slowly draws you toward peace. You wake in the small hours to find the cabin glowing silver, the moon bright beyond the window. For a while you lie still, watching the snowy pines stand luminous and quiet against the pale night sky. The light lies soft across your quilt, cool and clean, and the room is warm and deeply still. You feel no urge to rise, only a gentle contentment to watch the bright, peaceful scene a little longer. A wisp of cloud drifts across the moon, dimming the snow to soft gray, then sliding away to let it glow white again. The slow rhythm of it soothes you. You let your eyes fall half closed, the silvered window blurring gently, and feel yourself drifting back down toward warm and easy sleep beneath the patient moon. You sit by the window with a cup of warm milk cooling in your hands, watching the snow lie smooth and silver under the dim moon. A faint breeze drifts through the pines outside, almost too soft to see, lifting a thin shimmer of snow before the air settles into deep quiet. The cabin is warm and dimly lit, the stove glowing low, the lamp turned soft and golden. You feel a great calm settling in your chest, gentle as the still night. The forest rests in perfect silence, the trees dark and patient beneath the pale sky. You breathe slowly, feeling the warmth of the cup and the cool of the glass together, and the deep stillness draws your thoughts gently down toward rest. A wool rug lies before the cabin's door, and the late autumn sun reaches in across it, warming the woven fibers to a deep gold. You sit down upon it, cross-legged in the band of light, and feel the warmth gather beneath you. Through the open door comes the cool resin scent of the pine forest, and the soft sound of needles stirring in a slow breeze. The clearing beyond glows amber, the long grass bowing gently. You rest your hands on your knees and let your eyes half close against the brightness. The day is unwinding all around you, slow and golden, and you let yourself unwind with it, breath by easy breath. And through the frosted glass the world is a soft grey hush, the forest dissolved into fog. The little cabin holds its warmth close, and you sit near the window with a blanket over your knees, watching the mist drift past the snowy boughs. The pines are barely there now, faint shapes that come and go as the fog thickens and thins. A slow drip from the eaves marks the only rhythm. Inside, the lamp glows amber, and the air smells of cedar and old wood. You feel the day loosen its hold, hour by quiet hour, until there is only this: the warm room, the pale window, the gentle grey forest beyond, and the soft weight of sleep beginning to gather behind your eyes. You lie back on the cabin's narrow bed as the spring twilight pools in the corners of the room. Through the small window you can see the topmost branches of the pines swaying in a mild, slow breeze, dark against a deepening violet sky. The last snow on the sill has melted to a thin glistening line. Somewhere outside an owl calls once, soft and far away, and then the quiet returns. The blankets are heavy and warm around you, and the pillow smells faintly of cedar. You feel the long day loosening from your limbs, muscle by muscle. The room dims by gentle degrees. You let your eyes close, and the soft sounds of the forest carry you down. As dusk arrives, the first faint star pricks the deep blue above the eastern pines, while the west still holds a band of fading apricot. You stand at the open cabin door, wrapped in a heavy sweater, breathing the cold, clean air and watching the two halves of the sky. The snow has gone a soft shadowed blue, smooth and quiet across the clearing. Behind you the fire pops once, gently. The single star brightens as the sky deepens around it, and soon another joins it, and then another, unhurried, the way the evening does everything here. You linger a moment longer in the doorway, held between the warm room and the calm, cold night. The porch faces west, and from the old rocking chair you watch the autumn sun ease itself down behind the ridge of pines. The light has gone the deep gold of late afternoon, turning slowly to evening, and the whole clearing seems to hold its breath in it. You rock gently, the wood creaking soft and rhythmic beneath you, a sound as steady as a heartbeat. A cool thread of air moves up from the valley, carrying the scent of cold earth and dry needles. You pull your sweater closer. The shadows lengthen across the grass, joining one another, and the gold deepens to copper, and you feel sleep beginning to gather at the edges of the calm. The deep cold has hushed the pine forest into a crystalline calm, every twig sheathed in frost beneath the pale moon. Inside the cabin you sit wrapped in a heavy quilt near the warm stove, watching the firelight dance softly across the timber walls. A pot of water steams gently on the iron top, filling the room with soft warmth against the brittle chill outside. The pines stand dark and snow-laden beyond the frosted glass, silent in the freezing night. You listen to the quiet crackle of the flames and feel the warmth seep slowly into your hands and feet. Nothing hurries here, and nothing stirs in the frozen woods. You let your eyes half close, your breathing slow, and the long winter evening draws you gently toward the soft edge of sleep. The cold has frozen the cabin windows into pale sheets of frost, and the moonlight filters through them soft and pearly, spilling across the wooden floor. You are wrapped in a quilt near the warm stove, your socked feet stretched toward the heat, a cup of tea cooling slowly at your side. Outside, the snowy pines stand in perfect stillness, dark shapes against the luminous snow. The warmth of the room is deep and certain, a soft cocoon against the freezing night. You breathe slowly, watching the frost glitter faintly where the moon touches it. A great, gentle quiet lies over everything, and you let it settle into you, calm and unhurried, like sleep gathering slowly at the edges of a long winter evening. On the floor beside the bed lies a small braided rug, its coils of fabric wound tight and stitched into a soft oval. You might press your bare feet against it and feel the gentle ridges of the braid, the mingled scraps of old wool and cotton in muted reds and browns and faded blues, the slight give of it over the wooden boards. Here and there a strip has worn thin, smoothed by years of mourning feet. It smells faintly of dust and home. The lamp throws warm light low across its surface, deepening the grooves between the coils. Snow falls soundless beyond the glass. The little rug holds the warmth of countless quiet mornings, resting soft underfoot as the night settles down around you. The blue hour drapes the snowy forest in soft, dreaming shadow, and the cabin glows warm against the cold. You settle into a rocking chair near the window and let yourself rock slowly, a wool throw across your lap. The pines have become tall dark shapes against the deepening sky, their snowy branches hanging still in the windless air. A low fire glows across the room, and the air is warm with cedar and wood smoke. You breathe in deeply and feel your shoulders soften and drop. There is nothing to do but rock and watch the blue night arrive. The chair creaks gently, the light fades softly, and you feel your eyes grow heavy in the calm, dim warmth of the hour. The window shutters, loosely latched, give the softest of taps when the wind nudges them, a small wooden knock that comes and goes with no pattern you can predict, and yet there is nothing unsettling in it. It is a homely, drowsy sound, the sound of a cabin loose and comfortable in its old age, shifting gently in the night air. Tap, a pause, then a softer tap, the wind playing idly at the edges of the house. You lie warm beneath your quilt and let the small knocking become part of the room's quiet music, neither expected nor surprising, just the easy speech of wood and wind keeping you company until your eyes grow heavy. In the deep middle of the night, snow has begun to fall once more, settling onto the cabin's window ledge in a soft growing ridge of white. You watch it gather from your warm bed, flake upon silent flake, the lamplight gilding its near edge. The stove gives a low, steady warmth, and the room is dim and peaceful. Beyond the falling snow, the forest is lost in darkness, mile upon quiet mile of laden pine. The hush is so complete it feels like a soft weight, gentle and reassuring. Your thoughts have slowed to almost nothing now, drifting like the snow. You let your eyes close, and the slow soundless falling continues behind your lids, carrying you down into rest. The mist rolls through the pine trunks in slow, unhurried waves, each one paler than the last. You stand at the cabin's open doorway, wrapped in wool, and breathe the cold, clean air. Snow lies deep across the clearing, untouched and smooth, and the fog moves over it like something half dreaming. The lantern by your shoulder throws a soft circle of light that the mist quietly swallows at its edge. There is a hush so complete you can almost hear the snowflakes settling. Nothing stirs but the fog, and even that moves gently, drifting between the trees as if it too were tired and ready to lie down. You watch a while longer, then turn back inside, where the warmth is waiting patiently for you. The cabin is dim and warm, and you rest alone in the deep solitude of the winter night, your thoughts gentle and slow. A single lamp glows on the table, and beyond the frosted glass, the snowy pines stand dark and still. A memory rises softly of a kitchen table long ago, of slow talk over cooling cups of coffee, the easy warmth of people who loved you, and you hold it close, fond and unhurried. The recollection brings only gladness, no sorrow at all. Outside, the snow falls slow and silent over the sleeping forest. The fire breathes its low orange light. There is nothing here to trouble you, nothing left undone, only this peaceful hour, and you let your mind grow calm and slow. The cabin's old clock has wound down and stopped, and you find you are glad of it, glad to let the rain keep the only time tonight. It falls steady and soft on the roof, marking the hours in its own unhurried way. The lamp burns low and amber over the still room. Through the window, the snow lies gentle and grey beneath the fall, and the pines hold their dripping dark beyond. You are warm beneath the blankets, your thoughts gone slow, your body heavy with rest. There is no schedule here, no hour you must keep. There is only the rain and the warmth and the soft low light. You let the stopped clock stay stopped, and you let the rain go on, and you let yourself sleep. Just beyond the cabin, a fallen log makes a natural seat at the forest's edge, and you sit there in the warm dark, watching the moon climb above the pines. The summer night is mild, the air rich with resin and earth. The great trees rise tall and black around you, their crowns silvered by the rising moon. The forest floor is soft with needles, and the night is full of small gentle sounds, the chirr of crickets, the distant sigh of the canopy. The cabin glows warm and golden behind you through the trunks. You sit very still, feeling small and safe beneath the towering trees and the endless stars. The moon lifts higher, pale and serene, and a deep calm spreads slowly through you in the warm and patient dark. In the small hours, the rain softens to the lightest of falls, a fine and feathery patter on the cabin roof that you can barely separate from the silence. You lie warm beneath the quilt and listen to it fade and gather and fade, never stopping, only gentling. The wood stove glows low and red. Through the window the snow lies soft and grey, and the pines drip slowly in the dark. There is a great tenderness in this softening, as though the night itself were lowering its voice for your sake. You feel your breath slow to match the gentle fall. There is nothing to hold and nothing to fear. The light rain whispers on the roof, and you let its whisper carry you down into sleep. From the window seat you watch the moonlight pool in the hollows of the snow, bright in the open clearing and soft blue in the shadows of the pines. The forest stands utterly still, every branch outlined in clean silver against the dark. You tuck a cushion behind your back and draw your blanket close, content to simply look. The cabin is warm and dim around you, the stove glowing low, the air sweet with cedar. Far off, snow slips from a high bough and falls in a soft glittering veil through the light, then all is quiet again. You feel the deep peace of the night settle into your chest, slow and gentle. You watch the bright snow gleam until your thoughts grow soft and your eyes grow heavy. On the dresser sits a small dish of buttons of bone and a single thimble, standing among them like a tiny silver hat. You might slip the thimble onto a fingertip and feel its cool dimpled cap, the worn smooth band, the faint give where years of pressing needles have softened its tip. The dimples catch the lamplight in 100 tiny points. Beside it the bone buttons lie pale and round, each ringed with fine age lines. The dish beneath is shallow blue glass, cool to the touch. Snow gathers on the dark window. The lamp glows low and warm across the little gathering. The thimble keeps its quiet readiness, a small worn helper resting among the buttons as the evening eases gently towards sleep. A candle stub sits in a shallow brass dish on the mantel, its sides ribboned with frozen rivulets of old wax, its wick a small blackened curl. You could touch the cool waxen surface and feel the smooth drips that hardened mid-fall, the slight roughness where the flame once guttered, the faint sweet smell of tallow that lingers still. The dish beneath is rimmed with a pale crust of spilled wax. The hearth nearby glows low and orange, lighting the stub from one side so it casts a soft long shadow. The snow drifts past the dark window. The little candle has given its evenings of light and now rests, spent and peaceful, a small soft monument to many quiet nights, content in the dim and gentle hush. The thermometer by the door reads well below freezing, but inside the cabin the air is warm and still, and smells of cedar and wood smoke. You sit close to the stove as the window darkens, watching the snowy world outside trade its colors for shadow. A faint pink lingers along the western tree line, the last memory of the sun, slowly giving way to a deepening blue. The cabin creaks once, softly, as the timbers settle in the cold. You wrap your hands around your knees and feel utterly held by the small warm room, by the quiet, by the slow and certain arrival of the winter night. There is nothing to fear in such a gentle dark. From the cabin window, you watch the spring evening sky shift through its slow, soft colors over the snowy pines. Gray gives way to a faint rose along the tree line, then to dusky lavender, then to deepening blue. The last snow catches each tint in turn, glowing pale beneath the darkening trees. The air is cool and mild, and a gentle breeze stirs the topmost branches. You stand quietly with a warm cup, simply watching, feeling no need to do anything at all. A meltwater stream murmurs faintly somewhere below. The first star appears, then another. Behind you, the lamp glows warm and steady. The colors fade by slow degrees into night, and you feel yourself fading gently with them toward rest. Among the snow-laden branches of an old apple tree at the clearing's edge, a flock of American robins has gathered to roost, their orange breasts dimmed to soft amber in the dark. These ones stayed for the winter, and now they nestle close on the gnarled limbs, fluffed against the cold, their heads tucked low. The snow rests gently on the bare branches around them. From the cabin window, the old tree holds its small sleeping crowd like a quiet harvest. There is a tender comfort in seeing the familiar birds at rest so near, faithful through the cold season. You watch the dark shapes settle deeper into stillness, and your own weariness softens into something warm and peaceful as the long night deepens. The lamp burns low and golden as you settle into the worn couch, pulling a soft blanket up to your chest. A faint breeze sighs along the eaves above, a distant and gentle sound, then the cabin falls into deep and peaceful silence. Through the window, the pines stand dark and laden, the snow between them glowing faintly under the dim sky. The room is warm, the air still and easy, the stove glowing soft in the corner. There is nowhere to be tonight but here, wrapped in quiet and warmth. You feel your body soften into the cushions and your breathing slow and even, and the deep stillness of the snowbound forest gathers gently around you, easing you toward the soft edge of sleep. A bundle of dried lavender hangs from a beam in the cabin, and the golden evening light, slanting in, catches its faded purple and silver. You stand beneath it and reach up to brush the stems, and a faint sweet scent drifts down through the warm air. Beyond the window, the pine forest stands hushed, its high branches gilded by the sinking sun. The cabin is quiet and still. You breathe the lavender slowly, feeling the small calm of the scent move through you. There is no task that calls you now. You let your hand fall and stand a while longer in the gold light, easy and unhurried, as the long autumn evening settles gently over the trees. The cabin sits hushed in the fog, and from your bed you watch the pale gray light shift across the ceiling. The snowy pines beyond the window have vanished into mist, leaving only soft grayness everywhere. The stove ticks faintly as it holds its warmth. The blankets lie heavy and kind. Outside, the fog has smoothed the whole forest into a dreamless stillness, and no sound reaches the little room. You feel safe here, tucked away in warmth while the grey morning drifts on beyond the glass. There is no reason to rise, no edge to the hour at all. You let your eyes fall half closed and your breathing slow, and the gentle quiet of the mist carries you, unhurried, back toward the soft, warm shallows of sleep. In the deep middle of the night, the little wooden cabin holds its warmth quietly, the way a cupped hand holds a small flame. You lie beneath a heavy quilt and listen to the stove tick as its embers settle lower and lower, glowing a soft orange behind the iron grate. Beyond the frosted window, the pine forest stands utterly still, each tree wearing a smooth hood of snow. Nothing moves out there, nothing asks anything of you. The dark is gentle and complete, broken only by that faint amber glimmer. Your breathing slows to match the slow cooling of the room, and you let your thoughts grow soft and shapeless, drifting down like the last unhurried flakes. You wrap both hands around a warm mug of cocoa and settle into the deep armchair by the window, watching the snowy dawn unfold. The drink is rich and sweet, sending up curls of fragrant steam. Outside, the pine forest glows in the soft grey-gold light of early morning, every branch laden with snow. The clearing lies smooth and white and perfectly still. The cabin is warm around you, the stove humming low. You sip slowly, savoring the heat and the sweetness, in no hurry to move. The morning asks nothing of you. You let yourself sink deeper into the cushions, gazing out at the quiet trees, feeling utterly content in the gentle, snow-hushed peace. In the long middle hours, the cabin is so quiet you can hear the candle flame itself, a tiny, almost silent flutter of light on the table beside you. The wax gathers and slips slowly down the side of the candle, glistening, unhurried. Warm shadows lane and sway across the timber walls. Outside the frosted window, the snowy pines stand in deep blue darkness, utterly motionless, their branches bowed under soft white weight. You feel the warmth of the room settle over you like a hand laid gently on your back. Your breathing grows slow and even. The little flame keeps its quiet watch, and beneath its soft glow you let the long peaceful night carry you towards sleep. In the still depths of the night, frost has feathered the entire window into a pane of soft white lace, and the lamplight glows through it in a warm diffuse haze. You lie watching that gentle glow from the warmth of the bed, marveling sleepily at how the cold has made something so delicate. The stove murmurs low. Beyond the frosted glass the forest is hidden, but you sense its deep snowy quiet, vast and patient in the dark. The room is warm and dim and safe. Your breathing has slowed to a long, easy rhythm, and your thoughts have grown soft as the frost itself. The warm, hazy light blurs gently, and you let your eyes close and sink towards sleep. The winter cold has drawn frost flowers across the lower corners of every window, and beyond them the pine forest stands utterly still beneath a thick white hush. You sit close to the hearth in the dim cabin, a mug of warm milk between your palms, watching the steam curl up and vanish into the cool air above. The thick logs of the walls keep the deep chill outside where it belongs, and the fire's glow paints the room in soft, sleepy amber. Now and then a clump of snow slides quietly from the roof with a muffled sound. You sip slowly and feel warmth spreading from your chest to your fingertips. The night is long and gentle, and you are in no hurry to do anything but rest. In a shallow bowl by the door lie a few smooth chestnuts, glossy brown and cool, gathered on some autumn walk and kept past their season. You might roll one in your palm and feel its polished curve, the pale rough patch at its base, the way it clicks softly against its neighbors when you set it down. Their deep mahogany shine catches the lamplight in a single bright point. One has begun to wrinkle gently at one end. Snow gathers on the dark window beside the door. The lamp glows low and warm across the little bowl. The chestnuts rest in their quiet heap, holding the memory of fallen leaves and cool bright air, a small earthy comfort settling into the hush of the deepening night. Inside the cabin, an old rocking chair sits by the open window, and there you settle with a soft shawl loose around your shoulders, more for comfort than for warmth. The summer night breathes gently through the screen, carrying pine and cool grass. The chair rocks slowly, its runners creaking softly on the wooden floor. A single candle glows low across the room. The pines outside sway dark against the stars, and a stream murmurs far away. The shawl is soft against your skin, the chair familiar and kind. You rock slowly, slowly, your gaze drifting to the candle's quiet flame. The warm night and the gentle motion ease every thought from your mind, one by one, until there is only the soft creak of the chair and the slow, deep rhythm of your breathing. Through the cabin's largest window, the afternoon sun sets the snowfield ablaze in soft gold, and the pine shadows stretch long and blue across it. You stand with your hands wrapped around a warm mug, watching the light slowly change. Each tree wears its snow gently, and the crowns burn amber where the low sun touches them. A single track of small animal prints crosses the bright snow and disappears into the trees. The cabin is warm and quiet around you. You sip slowly and feel the heat spread through you, and the gold deepens toward rose as the afternoon eases on. You watch without thought, only breath, and the long light holds you softly in its calm. Evening fog has settled over the forest, and from the cabin's warm interior, you watch it swallow the snowy pines one by one. The fire murmurs low in the grate, and a blanket lies warm across your lap. The trees become soft grey shapes in the haze, then fade to nothing at all. The mist seems to draw the world inward, closer and gentler, until the cabin feels like the last warm light in a soft grey sea. You sip something warm and let the quiet fill you. There is no rush to this evening, no sharp corners to it. The fog drifts slowly past the glass, and you drift slowly too, your breath easing, your thoughts unwinding, the long calm night gathering gently all around the little wooden room. On the kitchen sill sits a small earthenware crock of coarse salt, its glaze a creamy white crazed with fine brown lines. You might lift the wooden lid and dip a fingertip into the cool damp grains, feeling their soft crunch, seeing how the lamplight makes the larger crystals glint like tiny stars. The crock is heavy and steady, its base unglazed and slightly rough. A faint white dusting of salt rims its lip. Snow gathers on the dark window behind it. The lamp glows low and warm across the little crock. It asks nothing of the evening, simply holding its small store of salt in patient wait, a steady humble thing resting on the sill as the cabin settles into the deep of night. The afternoon light reaches the rough-hewn dining table where a bowl of apples sits, and it turns their red skins to glowing embers. You sit with your elbows on the warm wood, simply looking. The low sun slants long across the room, gilding the salt cellar, the wooden spoons, the edge of the bread board. Through the window, the snowy pines stand still and bright. The cabin smells faintly of cinnamon and wood smoke. You lift an apple and turn it in the light, watching its skin shine, and set it down again unbitten. There is a quiet pleasure in this slow noticing. The gold deepens as the afternoon lanes on, and you stay at the warm table, unhurried. In the soft blue hour, the snowy forest seems to hold itself perfectly still, as though the whole world has paused to rest. You sit by the cabin window, a candle flickering gently beside you, watching the pines fade into the deepening dusk. Snow lies smooth and undisturbed across the clearing, glowing faintly under the indigo sky. The wood stove hums low and warm at your back. You wrap your hands around a mug and feel the heat travel slowly up your arms. There is no edge to this evening, no sharpness anywhere. The light keeps softening, kind and unhurried, and you feel yourself growing calm and heavy, sinking gently into the warm, dim quiet of the cabin. A length of soft twine is wound around a flat wooden spool that lives in the drawer of the side table. You might roll it across your palm and feel the smooth worn wood, the slight give of the wound cord, the frayed loose end that tickles your fingertip. The twine is the warm color of straw, faintly fuzzy smelling of dry fiber, and a little of the cedar draw. Someone has notched the spool's edge to keep the end from slipping. Outside the window, snow falls slow and steady into the dark. The little spool asks for nothing tonight. It simply holds its tidy coil, ready and patient, a small useful thing resting easy in the lamp's low glow as the evening settles deep. The hearth in the little cabin has burned down to a bed of warm orange coals, and you sit close to it on a low stool this spring evening. Outside, the last snow glows faintly blue beneath the pines as night settles in. The cool air slipping under the door carries the scent of wet earth and new growth, mingling gently with wood smoke. You poke the embers, and a few soft sparks rise and fade. The room is dim and golden and very still. A cat dozes on the rug beside you, breathing slow. You feel the warmth on your face and hands, and a deep quiet eases through you, settling you, slowing you, drawing your eyes half closed. The old wooden chair on the porch has a thin cushion of snow on its seat, glowing faintly violet now in the deepening dusk. You brush it clear and sit a moment, well wrapped, to watch the day's last color drain from the sky above the pines. The cold is sharp but not unkind, and the silence is complete save for the small tick of cooling timber behind you. Pink fades to gray, gray to a soft deep blue, and one by one the stars come out above the dark and snowy trees. Your breath rises slow and white. When at last you rise to go inside, the porch boards creak gently, and the warm light welcomes you home. Folded over the back of the rocking chair is a knitted shawl, its loose stitches forming a soft open lattice you can almost see through. You might draw it across your shoulders and feel its airy warmth, the slight catch of wool against your skin, the long tasseled corners that brush your wrists when you move. Here and there a stitch has slipped into a slightly larger loop, the gentle imperfection of something made by hand on long evenings. It smells of dried lavender and old wood. The lamp glows low, and snow drifts past the window in slow, loose handfuls. The shawl settles around you light as breath, holding just enough warmth, asking nothing more than to keep you cozy as sleep draws near. Through the misted cabin window, the snowy forest is soft and grey and dreamlike. You sit in the warm dim with a blanket over your knees, watching the fog drift slowly past the pines. The trees fade and return as the mist moves, their dark trunks gentle against the pale haze. A candle burns steadily on the sill, its small flame doubled faintly in the cool glass. The fire glows low behind you, and the room holds its warmth close. There is nothing here that hurries. The fog drifts at the pace of breath, and you find your own breathing slowing to meet it. Your eyes grow heavy and your thoughts grow soft, and the gentle grayness beyond the window becomes a quiet lullaby, easing you slowly towards sleep. The woodpile beside the cabin wears a thick cap of snow, and in the sunset its rough split faces glow a warm tan gold against the cool blue drifts. You bring in a last armful of logs before the dark, the bark cold and rough against your sleeve, the snow squeaking softly underfoot. The sky above the trees is a quiet wash of amber fading to grey. Your breath clouds and drifts. Inside, you stack the logs by the stove where they will dry and warm, and the small honest task settles you. Then you stand a moment at the door, looking back at the glowing woodpile and the darkening pines, before easing it shut against the gentle cold. A clay mug waits on the table, glazed in a deep, uneven blue that thins to bare earthenware at the rim, where a thumb has rubbed it for years. You might wrap both hands around its rounded belly, feeling the slight roughness of an unglazed ring at the base, the tiny crackle pattern in the glaze that catches the lamplight like frost on a pond. A faint ring of old tea stains the inside, soft brown and harmless. The handle fits the curl of your fingers, as though made for them. Outside, snow heaps gently on the sill. The mug holds nothing now but a little leftover warmth and the comfortable shape of an evening's many quiet sips, settling slowly into the hush of night. Inside the cabin, a small reading nook is tucked beneath the eaves, and there you sit with an old book open but unread on your lap. A single soft lamp glows beside you, its light warm and low. The summer night breathes through a half-open window, carrying the smell of resin and night-blooming flowers. The pages of the book are soft with age, and your fingers rest lightly upon them. Outside, the dark pines sway and whisper, a sound like distant surf. You meant to read, but the words have begun to blur and swim, and the gentle lamplight is so kind that you do not mind at all. Your head tips slowly against the cushioned wall, and the book grows heavy in your hands. The afternoon light finds the cabin's narrow stairwell and lays a soft gold glow along the worn wooden steps. You sit on the third stair from the bottom, hands around a warm cup, watching dust turn slowly in the slanted beam from the high window. Below, the main room is hushed and dim. Above, the loft glows amber. Through the small window, the snowy pines stand still and bright. The wood beneath you holds a gentle warmth. You sip slowly and let your gaze soften, following the light as it moves an inch lower on the steps. There is a deep, simple peace in this in-between place, and you stay a while, breathing slow in the long, warm gold. The afternoon light reaches the cabin's narrow side window, where a strand of dried orange slices hangs on a thread, and it shines through them in glowing circles of amber. You stand close, breathing in their faint, sweet scent, watching the light pass through each translucent ring. Beyond the glass, the snowy pines stand still under their soft white load. The cabin is warm and hushed. You turn one slice gently on its thread and watch the gold tremble through it. There is a small, simple beauty here that asks nothing of you. The long afternoon light pools warm around the window, and you stay a while, content, letting the sweetness and the gold fill the quiet hour. A wooden rocking chair sits beside the cabin window, draped with a thick knitted throw, still and waiting in the dim morning light. Beyond the glass, the snowy forest emerges slowly from the dark, the pines turning from black to soft grey as dawn approaches. The sky holds the faintest blush of rose along the tree line. You settle into the chair, pulling the throw across your knees, and rock gently, slowly, watching the light grow. The wood creaks softly beneath you, a low and soothing sound in the quiet. The snow beyond lies smooth and untouched. There is nothing to do but rock and watch and breathe, and you let the slow rhythm of the chair carry you deeper into the peaceful hush of the waking morning. A spring evening rain begins, so light it is almost a mist, drifting over the snowy clearing around the little cabin. You stand at the doorway and watch it fall through the lamplight, each drop catching the glow for an instant before vanishing into the soft remaining snow. The pines darken and gleam, their needles beaded with water. The smell of rain on cold earth fills the cool air, clean and round and gentle. You breathe it in slowly. Behind you, the hearth crackles low, casting warm, shifting shadows across the wooden walls. There is nothing to do but listen to the whisper of the rain and the slow tick of the fire, and let the evening hold you. You have settled by the cabin window for the last quiet hour of the night, watching the snow drift down over the sleeping forest. The flakes fall lightly, slow and scattered, pale against the dark, lit faintly by the lamp turned low beside you. They wander down through the still air, turning gently, each one unhurried and at peace. The pines stand quiet and dim, their branches softened with the day's white gathering. The cabin holds the last warmth of the evening fire. You watch the snow come down, your eyes growing heavy, your thoughts growing soft and slow. There is nothing left to do but rest, and so you let the gentle falling snow be the last thing you see, drifting and quiet, as you slip softly into sleep. The cabin glows warm at the center of the blue evening, its windows soft squares of gold against the dimming forest. You settle into a chair by the stove with a mug of something hot, watching the snow outside turn slowly from white to silver to deep gray blue. The pines stand patient and dark, their snowy branches catching the last faint light of the sky. The room is warm and quiet, the air still and sweet with wood smoke. You feel your breathing slow, your shoulders soften, your thoughts drift loose and gentle. There is nothing to finish, nothing to fear. The dusk deepens around the cabin, kind and unhurried, and you let yourself rest in its calm, dim hush, ready for the night. The screened sleeping porch wraps the back of the cabin, and tonight you have dragged a mattress out onto its weathered boards. Lying there in the warm dark, you are inside and outside at once, surrounded by the breathing forest yet safe behind the soft mesh. The summer night hums with crickets and the far-off ripple of a stream. A breeze slips through the screens, carrying the scent of pine and warm grass. Above, through the porch's open eaves, a few stars hang low and bright. The cabin behind you is dark and quiet, holding the day's gentle warmth. You pull a thin sheet to your chest, more for comfort than for cold, and feel the whole soft night gather around you like a held breath. You wake only halfway in the deep of the night and find the rain still there, faithful and soft on the roof, exactly as it was. The cabin is dark but for the dull red glow behind the stove's iron door. Outside, the steady fall has kept the snow gentle and grey, and the pines drip on in their patient dark. There is a great comfort in this continuance, in waking to find the world still quietly raining, the warmth still holding you, nothing changed and nothing wrong. You do not fully wake. You let the rain fold back over you like a blanket of sound, soft and even and endless, and you slide again, easily, gratefully, back down into the warm dark of sleep. In the corner of the main room, a small daybed is heaped with soft pillows, and there you settle as the warm night deepens. A single candle flickers low on a nearby shelf, its light soft and golden. The open window lets the forest in, its hush of needles, its cool green breath. The wooden walls hold the day's gentle warmth, and the room is dim and snug. You sink into the pillows, a thin sheet drawn loosely over you, and listen to the slow chorus of the night. An owl calls once far away, and the stream murmurs on. The candlelight sways, painting soft shapes on the ceiling. Your eyes follow them, slower and slower, until the shapes blur and soften, and the warm dark gathers you in. Snow slides slowly off the steep cabin roof, as the day's faint warmth gives way to the evening cold, falling past the window in soft white sheets that vanish into the drifts below. You watch from inside, warm and unhurried, as the low sunset light catches each falling curtain of snow and turns it briefly gold. The pines beyond stand quiet and dark. The room smells of cedar and tea. Each soft slide of snow ends in a gentle, muffled thump, and then the stillness returns, deeper than before. You settle further into your chair, soothed by the slow rhythm of it, and watch the last gold light fade from the falling snow as the dusk comes gently on. Very late in the night, the forest has gone so still that you can almost feel the silence, a deep soft hush lying over the snow like another blanket. Inside the cabin, the stove holds a gentle warmth, and a single low lamp keeps the dark soft and golden. You lie beneath your quilts, body heavy, mind unwinding slowly. Now and then a faint tick comes from the cooling timbers, and then the quiet folds back over everything. The window is dark, the snowy pines beyond it standing motionless and serene. There is nothing here tonight but warmth and peace, and the slow deep silence of the winter woods. You breathe it in, let it settle through you, and drift gently towards sleep. You carry a candle to the window, though the moon outside hardly needs its help. The snowy clearing glows under a full white moon, every drift catching the light and softening it across the yard. The pines beyond stand in patient ranks, their snow-laden boughs gleaming faintly silver. Your candle flame wavers and steadies, throwing a small warm circle that meets the cool moonlight at the glass. You set the candle down and simply watch, hands folded, the cabin hushed and warm around you. Far off, snow slides from a branch with a soft muffled thump, then silence returns. The night is wide and bright and utterly calm. You breathe slowly, feeling the stillness gather, and let the peaceful scene quiet your thoughts. A red squirrel has retreated into its dray, a round nest of twigs and shredded bark tucked high in the fork of a pine, just outside the cabin. Curled tightly with its bushy tail wrapped around its body like a soft scarf, it sleeps in a warm hollow lined with moss and dry grass. The snow piles gently on the outside of the nest, but within, the squirrel is dry and warm and utterly still. You picture it there as you bank the fire for the night, its small ribs rising slowly. The wind hushes through the branches that cradle it. Both of you in your separate warm nests drift toward the same deep and peaceful rest beneath the same dark sky. Snow has drifted up against the cabin's north wall in a smooth, sculpted curve, shaped by the night's gentle wind. In the dawn light it glows pale and soft, edged with the faintest blue in its hollows. The pines beyond stand motionless, heavy with white, their tops just catching the first thread of gold. From your warm place inside, you watch the light grow slowly across the drifts, lengthening the shadows, brightening the snow. The cabin is quiet but for the soft tick of the cooling stove. There is no wind now, no sound at all but your own slow breathing. You let your eyes drift half-closed, content in the deep peace of the morning, in no hurry for the day to fully begin. On the kitchen shelf leans a wooden spoon worn thin and pale, its bowl shaped into a soft asymmetry by years of stirring against the same side of the same pot. You might lift it and feel the silky grain, the slight scorch mark darkening one edge of the bowl, the smooth handle that fits the curl of a hand. The wood is dry and warm-toned, faintly fragrant of old kitchens. A fine split runs partway up the handle, harmless and familiar. The lamp glows low above the shelf. Snow gathers on the dark window. The old spoon rests against the wall, worn soft by countless quiet suppers, a humble, well-loved thing settling into stillness as the long night drifts gently past. Blue hour settles over the snowy clearing, and the cabin glows warm at its heart. You stand by the window watching the pines lose their color, fading into soft dark shapes against the deep indigo sky. Snow lies smooth and luminous across the ground, glowing faintly in the failing light. Behind you, the wood stove radiates a low, comfortable warmth, and the air is sweet with cedar. You wrap your hands around a warm mug and let the heat seep slowly into your fingers. Nothing moves in the still evening. The silence is soft and complete. You feel your thoughts grow quiet and unhurried, your shoulders softening one slow inch at a time, as the dusk deepens gently toward a peaceful, dreamless night. A thin blanket of cloud has drifted away, and now the whole sky over the cabin is alive with quiet stars. You have come outside in your warmest coat, your breath clouding gently, and you stand at the edge of the porch to take it in. The snow stretches pale and smooth toward the dark wall of pines, and above it the stars shimmer in a hush so complete it feels like a held note. You let your eyes travel slowly across the sky, from one faint constellation to another, asking nothing of them, simply keeping company. The cold settles softly on your skin, and the warmth of the cabin waits behind you. For a long, peaceful while you simply watch the stars, and the night grows quieter still. The fire in the hearth has burned down to a low, steady glow, and you sit before it as the autumn evening turns the windows to gold. The flames are small now, more warmth than light, and they paint the log walls in soft moving amber. Outside, the pines hold the last of the day on their crowns. You rest deep in a worn armchair, your feet near the warm stone of the hearth, a blanket loose across your lap. The wood crackles now and then, a gentle sound in the quiet. You watch the coals breathe orange and dim and orange again, and feel the long day settle softly into your bones like the evening settling over the trees. Out where the pines give way to a frozen beaver pond, the lodge sits half buried in snow, and within it a family of beavers rests warm and dry through the cold night. Beneath the snow-capped dome of sticks and mud, in a chamber above the icy water, they are curled together, safe from the winter and from any wandering eye. Their slow breathing fills the dim, warm space. The pond lies frozen and silent around the lodge. From the cabin, you see only the snowy mound at the water's edge, giving no hint of the sleeping family within. There is a deep comfort in their hidden, well-made shelter, and the thought of it, snug and secret beneath the snow, eases your own thoughts gently toward rest. The reading nook beneath the stairs catches the last of the strong afternoon light, and you settle into its cushions with a worn book unopened in your lap. Golden beams slip through the slatted railing above and lay soft bars across the page. Outside the small round window, the pine forest holds still under its snow, each tree edged in warm light. The cabin is silent but for the gentle tick of cooling wood. You feel the warmth of the sun on the back of your hand, and the cushions are deep and forgiving. You do not read yet. You only sit in the gold, breathing slow, watching motes of dust turn lazily in the long, kind light. The wind has dropped entirely, and in the stillness the snowy forest seems to hold its breath as the sun goes down. From your chair by the cabin window, you can see the smoke of the chimney rising arrow straight, and the pines standing without the smallest sway. The sky behind them is a slow gradient of peach and grey, growing softer at the edges. Inside, the only sounds are the small settling of the fire and the faint tick of the clock on the mantel. You feel the deep quiet of the place enter you, easing the day's small tensions one by one. The light fades by gentle degrees, and you are content to fade with it into the calm. Inside the cabin, the fire glows low, and through the fogged windows the forest is a soft grey dream. You sit in the warm dim, a cup cooling beside you, watching the mist drift past the snowy pines. The trees fade in and out of the haze, gentle and patient, their branches white and still. The room smells of wood smoke and cedar. The fog presses softly at the glass, never asking entry, only keeping the cabin company through the long, quiet night. You feel the warmth on your face and the deep stillness all around. Your thoughts slow and soften, drifting like the mist itself. There is nothing to do here but rest, and so you rest, sinking deeper into the chair as the grey night drifts gently on. Alone in the little cabin, you watch the firelight flicker across the wooden beams and feel a profound and easy peace. The solitude of the snowy night is soft around you, a quiet space all your own. A fond memory drifts up, of long evenings spent reading by lamplight as a child, the comfortable weight of a story carrying you towards sleep. You feel that same comfort now, the book of the past opened gently in your mind. The pines beyond the frosted window stand heavy with snow, silent and patient. The fire breathes low. There is nothing here that pulls at you, nothing left undone, only this warm and unhurried hour. You let the memory settle, soft as snow, and feel your peaceful mind grow calm and slow. In the still middle of the night, frost has crept all the way across the lower window pane, a silent garden of ice ferns glittering faintly in the lamplight. You lie watching them from your warm nest of quilts, marveling drowsily at how something so cold can look so soft. The stove gives a low, steady heat. Beyond the frost-laced glass, the pine forest sleeps under its heavy snow, dark and motionless and deep. Inside, all is amber and warm and slow. The candle flame lanes, steadies, lanes again. You feel your breathing slow to a long, easy rhythm, and the icy ferns blur gently as your eyes half close, and the quiet beauty of the cold night carries you under. The firelight throws soft moving shadows on the timber ceiling, and you lie watching them shift while the rain keeps its steady time on the roof. The shadows lean and sway as the coals settle, a slow silent dance in warm orange and brown. Outside, the night is wet and grey and gentle, the snow softening under the fall, the pines dripping in the dark beyond the window. You are deep in the blankets, your body heavy, your breathing slow. There is something hypnotic in the shadows and the rain together, the silent moving light and the soft unbroken sound, and you feel your thoughts grow slow and shapeless beneath them. Your eyes follow the shadows until they will not stay open, and the rain plays on, and you sleep. The snow drifts slow beyond the dark window, and you sit alone in the cabin's warm hush, your mind clear and contented. The lamp glows soft and amber, and the wooden walls hold the quiet close. A fond memory rises gently of a long-ago harvest supper, the crowded table, the warm food, the laughter that rose and fell like a tide, and you hold it lightly. The recollection warms you, easy and kind. Outside, the pines stand heavy with snow. The fire breathes low. Your thoughts move slowly, unhurried and soft, and you feel a deep contentment settle through you, calm as the snowfall over the forest. In a dense stand of young firs at the forest's edge, a flock of dark-eyed juncos has flowed down from the higher branches to roost low and close to the sheltering snow. They nestle among the thick green needles, their slate hoods and pale bellies hidden in the shadows, packed gently together for warmth. The snow lies undisturbed on the branches above them, a soft white roof. From the cabin doorway you catch only the faintest stir of movement before they go still. The cold cannot easily reach them there, wrapped in evergreen and one another's warmth. You step back inside, and the thought of those small birds sleeping safe in the firs follows you into the warm room like a lullaby. The spring evening settles softly over the little wooden cabin, and you stand by the window watching the last snow soften at the edges of the clearing. The pines hold their dark green hush, and somewhere among them a slow trickle of melting ice taps a gentle rhythm against a stone. The air smells of damp bark and cool earth waking beneath the white. You let your shoulders drop, your breath grow long and even. The lamp inside glows amber against the dimming sky, and the floorboards hold the day's faint warmth beneath your feet. There is nowhere you need to be. The light fades by slow degrees, and you simply rest in it, easy and unhurried. Up among the highest branches of the tallest pine, the very last sunlight glows a deep ember orange, while the forest floor below has already gone to dusk. You notice it from the porch, that single bright crown above all the darkening trees, and you watch it slowly dim. The snow around the cabin lies in cool blue shadow now, soft and untrodden. The cold air is sweet with resin. Bit by bit the orange leaves the high branches, climbing upward and thinning until it too is gone, and the whole forest stands quiet and blue beneath the first stars. You breathe the calm of it in, then step inside to the waiting warmth. The melting snow at the warm edge of the chimney drips down the stones now and then with a soft hollow sound, each drop falling a little differently. Here a low note, there a higher one, a small uneven music in the quiet of the room. You lie in the dim warmth and listen to that slow scattered dripping, patient and unhurried, the warmth of the fire slowly loosening the snow above. The drops come without pattern, without haste, each one a tiny soft sound dissolving at once into silence. You stop trying to anticipate them and simply let them fall through your drowsy listening, one and then another, until the soft hollow notes blur gently into the beginning of a dream. Outside the cabin, a small stream runs half frozen at the edge of the clearing, its dark water moving slow beneath a lace of ice. In the first light, the ice glows faintly silver, and the snow along the banks holds a soft blue shadow. You watch from the window as dawn seeps gently into the forest, the pines emerging one by one from the grey. The faint, soothing murmur of water under ice drifts up to you, a quiet lullaby of the waking woods. Inside, the air is warm and close, scented with wood smoke and pine. You wrap your hands around a mug and let the calm of the slow morning settle over you, each breath softer than the last. The deep cold of the night has frozen the forest into a hushed, crystalline calm, and frost has spread across the cabin windows in delicate sheets. You sit wrapped in a heavy quilt near the warm stove, watching the firelight flicker softly across the log walls. A pot of water steams gently on the iron top, filling the room with soft, humid warmth against the brittle chill outside. The pines stand motionless beyond the glass, dark and snow-laden in the freezing dark. You listen to the quiet crackle of the flames and feel the warmth seep slowly into your hands and feet. Nothing hurries here. The long winter night unfolds around you, calm and gentle, and you let your eyes half close, drifting easily toward the soft edge of sleep. Inside the cabin, a deep window seat looks out upon the clearing, its cushions soft and faded, and you curl into it as the autumn evening turns the world to gold. You draw a blanket over your legs and rest your back against the warm wood frame. The pine forest stands before you, the low sun pouring through the trunks. A few leaves drift down across the glass. The cushion holds you gently, and the gold light lies warm across your lap. There is nowhere else you would rather be. You watch the colors deepen, gold to amber to soft gray, and feel your eyes grow heavy and your breathing slow, the long quiet day drawing softly to its rest. The cabin's single lamp is turned low, and the moonlight through the window is bright enough to raid by. You set your book aside and simply watch the silvered world beyond the glass. Snow has gathered in soft mounds along the fence posts, each one capped and glowing, and the path you cleared earlier is a pale ribbon winding toward the trees. The moon is so bright that the stars near it have faded, leaving it alone in a wide dark sky. You pull the woolen throw higher around your shoulders and sink deeper into the cushions. The stove gives off a low, steady heat, and the room smells of cider and warm tea. Slowly, easily, you feel the night drawing you toward rest. A small copper pot hangs from a hook by the hearth, its sides gone soft rose and brown with age and heat, a faint green patina pooling in its seams. You might lift it and feel the smooth dented metal, the cool curved handle, the slight warmth it has drawn from the nearby embers. The inside is lined with a paler tin gone cloudy from use. A few flecks of old polish cling near the rim. Firelight from the hearth glows low and warm across its rounded belly. A snow drifts past the dark window in silence. The little copper pot rests easy on its hook, holding the soft colors of long use, a quiet, patient thing settling with the cabin into the still of the deepening night. The little iron stove has burned low through the night, and a soft heat still radiates from its dark belly. You watch a thread of pale smoke drift up the chimney pipe and out into the dawn-colored air. Through the small window, the snowy forest is just beginning to take shape, the pines emerging from darkness as soft gray silhouettes. The first light is gentle, almost shy, brushing the tops of the trees with the faintest gold. A kettle sits cooling on the stove top. The floorboards are cool beneath the rug. You are in no rush to rise. There is comfort in simply lying still, feeling the slow warmth, watching the morning unfold one quiet shade at a time. On this deepest of cold nights, the forest stream has frozen solid, and the pines stand rimed in white, perfectly still beneath the stars. Inside the cabin, you have drawn a wool blanket tight around your shoulders and settled before the hearth, where the fire breathes low and steady. The warmth wraps around you like a held hand, easing the last of the chill from your fingers. You can hear the faint settling of the logs, and beyond that, only the immense silence of the frozen woods. A clay mug of warm broth steams gently at your side. You sip it slowly, feeling the heat spread through your chest, and let the deep winter calm settle over your thoughts like fresh snow falling soft and slow. In the cabin's small front room, you slowly trace the grain of the wooden table with a fingertip this spring evening, lost in easy thought. The lamp glows warm and steady, and beyond it the room sinks into soft shadow. Through the window the pines stand dark, and the last snow glows faintly under a deepening sky. The cool, mild air slips in, scented with thaw. A meltwater stream murmurs somewhere in the dusk. The hearth ticks softly as its embers cool. The old wood is smooth and warm beneath your finger, full of quiet years. There is nothing pressing, nothing urgent. You feel the day's cares loosen and float away. The little room holds you close, and the peaceful hour eases you gently toward rest. The snow has stopped falling sometime in the night, leaving the forest blanketed in flawless white. You stand at the cabin door, easing it open just a little, and breathe in the cold, clean morning air. It smells of pine and ice and something faintly sweet. The clearing before you lies untouched, glowing soft blue-gray in the dawn light. Not a single track marks its surface yet. The trees stand motionless, their branches softened by snow. You linger in the doorway, warm air at your back and cool air on your face, savoring the perfect stillness. Then you close the door gently and return inside, carrying the calm of the morning with you. Everything is quiet now, and everything is well. The cabin is warm, the snow falls softly outside, and the night is gentle and deep. You have done all you needed to do. Now there is only rest. Let your body grow heavy, let your breath slow, and let the peaceful stillness of the winter woods carry your thoughts away. Sink down slowly into the warmth, and let yourself fall, gently and completely, into sleep.